But you join us blacked out here on True
Yeah,
Tales.
boy.
Don't worry, it's not a glitch. We will be revealing all very soon. But first, we just want to go through the chat, get a few people in, make sure everybody is joining. So, hello, Fee, how are you doing? Hello, Repti Chat, how are you doing? I'm just going to go through this quite quickly, guys. Hello, Mike, how are you doing? Only no likes. Come on, guys, get the likes on the video. Hello, Touch, how you doing, my friend? Thank you for tuning in. Who else is in? Gary is here. Gary, I saw your comment that you commented like 2 days ago, your favorite day of the year and your favorite two people. So we love you, Gary.
Yeah, boy.
Where's our dear friend Tree? Is Tree here yet?
No, I've not seen him yet.
God damn it, Tree. Hello, Rick. How are we doing? Is everybody places your guesses, everyone? Start guessing now because me and Riddler are going to guess. We don't know what each other has done. So place your guesses in chat now what you think I could be and what Riddler could be. Who else is here? Hello, Dan. Dan's here for it. And also, we need you guys to vote. We're going to go through both costumes to sort of go through what's what. Viv Visions, how you doing, my friend? Hello. Jacob Hill is here. Hello, Logan. How you doing, my friend? My laptop glitched. Hello, Jody. How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Right, where we at? Matt's here.
Of course he is.
Riddler is here.
I am, yeah.
He was on time as well.
Someone voted for you already and it's blacked out. This is rude.
Hello, Hazardous Wastelander. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. Hello, Ozherp. How you doing, my friend? What's this? Chugly Plays. Hello, Chugly Plays. I don't think we've seen you before. Thank you for tuning in. I vote Paul. Yes, Hazardous. Right.
That's just rude, man.
Everybody. So, Riddler.
Yes.
You think 19 people? Don't worry, guys. We will be revealing soon. You think you know what I've done?
Not exactly. I couldn't tell you exactly what it is, but part of me thinks I know what you've done.
So, everyone, a bit of backstory. I had an idea, which I will reveal, and then Riddler goes on his story running his mouth how confident he is. So I decided to drop like £120 to get this done, what I've done. So what's your guess? What do you think I've done?
I think you've bought one of those like blow-up suits, you know, the ones that have got their own little battery pack and it blows it up. So you might be dressed as like a reptile or something.
Okay, so you think I have a blow-up suit?
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought you were going to dress up as me.
Right.
And
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did generally think you were going to dress up as me and be like, oh, and whatever, and just take the piss.
Would I do that?
And then Fee was like, I bet you he's something like a werewolf. And I was like, oh, that'd be a good shout because he's a hairy man.
Yeah.
And then you were like, I'm not going to say anything. You told me a bit of intel. And then I was like, oh, yeah, he's got to be a werewolf. So I think you're some sort of werewolf.
Okay.
From that, okay, I reckon I've got
it. We'll find out shortly.
Okay, there's 22 people in chat. Hello, Amy.
Jesus
check.
Christ. People are here for it.
Does anybody just want to put a guess in chat just now, just before we do the reveal? So we're going to reveal very shortly.
Yeah, everyone drop a comment to see if you can guess or whether you agree with either of us with our guesses.
How... I know, I'll see in a minute. I was going to say, how close am I to yours? But I'll see, so don't worry.
Yeah, I wouldn't have answered that anyway, to be fair. So Ken has said Peter Griffin and chicken, which, to be fair, if we were doing a joint
Christmas
one where
special.
We knew what we were doing, that would have been quite a good one.
Paul's going to be a... do you know what, Gary? A Hobbit would have been sick, but
that would have been good.
I'm not... That would be fun. Riddler's in a blow-up. I think Riddler is
Steve Irwin
Riddler.
And Steve Irwin and the Neg.
Okay, right.
Paul's Batman. Again, that would work if we were doing it like a joint thing together, I think.
Right, are you ready, Riddler?
I'm ready.
Okay, so on the count of 3, when I say 1, we are going to reveal, okay?
Well, so 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so this is a practice count. This isn't real. So it'll be 3, 2, 1, then reveal, yeah?
3, 2, 1, then reveal. All right.
Yeah, so as soon as I say 1, then reveal.
All right.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Everyone ready in chat? Get the likes up. 25 people. Ready? 3, 2, 1, reveal. Oh, you're fucking Kratos.
Yeah, boy.
Do you know what I am?
I-
Let me go full screen first because mine's got a bit of detail. So
All
I'll
right.
go full screen first. So, to my left, we have Riddler Reptiles and Ben's Balls Racks because I
You
am the
are
Rack Reaper.
Rack Reaper. That is
And
incredible.
we have the Lost Rat Keeper Souls. Of course, we have Riddler Reptiles behind me because you're always in my shadow. So this is your merch, and this is even a beard and your hat.
Wow.
And then it's just, yeah. So, and these are official Royal Python. I brought Royal Pythons as well. So,
Listen, you've gone in. I'll give you that.
The Rack Reaper.
Rack Reaper. Yeah, my guy.
So
You've gone in.
I reap racks.
You have fully
So
gone
this is
in.
you.
Whereas, as you can see, yeah, boy. Listen,
He's gone Kratos.
I put on eyeliner for this shit. I've never put eyeliner on in my life. And this, by the way, this is all shaved head. This isn't like a swimming cap or anything. This is fully shaved. I'm
He's
bald.
definitely gone for it.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone for it. Right, everybody.
What's everyone saying in chat?
Got to give it to Paul.
No, Gary, literally, there's not a bald cap. I've just fucked it off. It's just gone.
Right. What you giving? What you giving mine out? What you giving mine out of 10?
I knew this was going to be good. I knew it was going to be good, but fuck me, this is superb.
Yeah, what are you giving mine out of 10?
It's up there. It is up there.
Like I say, the costume itself is rubbish.
Yeah, the only reason I'll take a couple of points off is because it needed explaining. Because like the Grim Reaper thing, fine, but then you had to explain what was what. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was a bit like, it's very good once it's explained, especially. But it did need explaining.
I'm going to give you credit for shaving your head.
Thank you, sir.
I've even ordered red lights. I've got
Do you know
red
what made
lights.
me laugh? Is the other day when we were chatting and you said about shave your beard, and I said, no, I'd sooner shave my head. And you were like, oh, me shaving my head is like you shaving your beard. Well,
everybody, I've reaped the racks, Ben's Balls and Riddler Reptiles. He's in my shadow. This is his merch. And I even brought a fake beard. This is a fake beard. So who's winning? Come on, let's see. Start voting now. Everyone put Riddler or Paul. So we've got Vic for Paul. We've got Paul for creativity, Riddler for the commitment. We've got Paul from someone else said Paul earlier. But anyway, start again. If you've already commented, comment again.
Struggling. Rick said me.
Okay, so this is all good. We're going to go from now. So if you've already commented, please comment again.
Yeah.
So, because I think it was 2-1, but so just comment from now, and we're going to take it as new.
And this is why I haven't got headphones on either, by the way, because it would have ruined the whole Kratos look.
All right, we're going to have to go back. Someone needs to do a tally up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Rick for Riddler. We've got Viv Visions for Riddler. We've got Marshmallow for Riddler. Gary and Fee tie. Now you got to pick one, guys. We've got 1 for Paul, 2 for Paul. Okay, people are commenting again. This is getting confusing because they're the same people. It's confusing because people have commented like 3 times and they're the same person.
Hang on. Fee said doesn't know who I am. Let me show you. I've got a picture of who I am. Where is it?
God of War.
God of War. This is class. This is
too
so
many people, Riddler.
I
think it's generally an even split, to be fair. I don't think either one of us,
Riddler just was saying he's fucked his hair off.
Right, let me go back up, guys. I'm going to try and see if I can count this. So I'm going to read your names out as you say it. Okay, so Vicky, right, you tally Riddler, okay?
Oh, hang on. Let me write it down somewhere because I'm not very good with the brain.
Because we make sure that we don't read the same name twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vicky for Paul.
Yeah.
Rick for Riddler.
Yeah.
Viv Visions for Riddler.
Yeah.
Marshmallow for Riddler.
Yeah.
Chugly for Paul.
Yeah.
Hazardous Wastelander for Paul.
Hazardous Paul. Yeah.
Repti Chat for Paul, but you give it 60-40, but 60-40 to Paul.
Repti Chat Paul.
Gary says tiebreaker, who eats a roach. Okay, Ozzy Herb said Riddler for the commitment, Paul for the creativity. But you had to explain it. So who are you picking, Ozzy? Are you picking Riddler or are you picking me? So Rick said Riddler, we've already had Rick. Chugly Paul, we've already had. Brandon Doven. Don't think we've seen you before, Brandon. I think is that? No, that's Bradley. He says Riddler. Serpentine says Riddler for the costume, Paul for the background. So need a pick. Okay, so Ozzy Herp has said Riddler.
Ozzy Herp. Riddler. Yeah.
Scales on Earth said Paul.
This is fucking close.
Jody is saying Riddler.
Yeah.
Dan is saying Paul.
This is so close.
Right, let's check. Seven Lazar said Riddler. Gary said Riddler. And no one else has commented. So I think just based how many people voted.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Logan says Paul.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
And Logan says Paul.
15 with Logan.
Yeah. Come on, guys. There's few of you haven't voted yet. Andrew went bald, but I'm still missing the 6-pack. So yeah, Paul. Mike picks Paul.
Mike. Paul. Oh shit! I think I've.
Serpentine said. Have we said Serpentine yet?
Riddler, yeah.
Amy says Paul.
Riddler.
Touch says Paul. Come on, gang.
Oh shit!
The fucking Rack Reaper. We reap the goddamn racks. Come
See,
on.
before this, when you
were
saying you've gone for the hearts of our audience.
Yeah, I reaped the racks.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Where are Matt and Michael?
They would both vote for me, but they're not here, so we can't count it.
Fake fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, what are we at? What are the scores?
Let's have a look. So far, 1. Cool.
And everyone, just so we know, Riddler was planning on shaving his head anyway. And that's why you had a hat on earlier. I was like, he's dyed his hair. What are we at?
It's very close. Close.
Don't say who's winning. Who's winning by what? As in, what number?
The winner is ahead by 1 at the minute. By
who's
1.
Winning?
It's literally by 1. I say we leave it at that for now.
Okay.
And as we go, as more people join, we'll see if we can get them to because we've got the majority of people's votes now, haven't we?
How do I put up a poll? That's a good shout. I can't make you an admin without going onto YouTube, so just tell me how to make a poll.
24 in chat. How many votes? 19 votes.
26 in chat now.
Come on, whoever hasn't voted yet, put in a vote, please.
How you doing anyway, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been so buzzing for this. Now, obviously, I've been quite busy today. Well, the last few days. I did overtime last night, so I did like a double shift in one day.
Yeah.
And then got up. I came home, went to bed, woke up. My parents got here. What are we voting for? You're voting for who's got the best costume for the Halloween special.
Who said
John.
that?
John Cowling. What are we voting for? You're voting for who's got the best costume.
He's Kratos, and I'm the Rack Reaper, and this is Riddler himself. Riddler in my shadow. And, I have racked many of people's reaped many people's racks. This is the lost souls of rat keepers. So, yeah.
But yeah, all good. Like I say, my parents have come down from London because they're looking for houses. So yeah, it's been quite busy. So literally, they went. I had to do the washing up. I said, before you go to bed, I need you to sort me out with all of this. Got to be Paul.
Yeah, boy. Right, I'm gonna go onto YouTube.
Bro, this is rude, man. Do you know what? I didn't think I was gonna steamroll.
Riddler was so confident.
I was so confident.
My old costume, you would have smashed.
Really?
Because yeah. My old costume was this. I was just gonna be you.
Right. Okay.
And then because you went on your story and give it the big one, I was like, nah, the audacity. I was like, he's not beating me. No. So then I had a good idea. Right. How do I make a poll?
But yeah, apart from that, mate, I'm all good. I'm now off for a few days, which is good. Got to respect the Rack Reaper. Thought Rack Reapers didn't have souls. That's a good shout, Mike.
Wait, what? It's not so. This is the souls of lost Rack Keepers. It's not my soul.
No, that's what he's saying. He's saying that Rack Keepers don't have souls.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's why they're lost. Because you can't find them.
Why did we end up with a nun outfit?
I was going to be a slutty nun at one point. I was going to get for you to do my makeup and put my hair up into like a thing. And I was going to be a slutty nun. And then I was like, that's a bit shit. And then I was going to be you. Yeah, I did order a nun. All right, anyway, I'm trying to figure this. This start of this podcast, guys. I know this is exciting, but I'm trying to figure out how to do a poll because
I've kept count anyway, to be fair. I have got the counter up. I've added John as well.
Community moderations. Who even knows?
Anyway, how's everyone in chat doing? Has anyone got plans for Halloween? I mean, usually I couldn't give any less of a shit about Halloween, if I'm being perfectly honest, but
really?
This just made it for me.
Halloween's the best day of the year.
No, it doesn't do anything for me, to be fair.
God's sake, Ben, fine. Right, you should have managing moderator skills now. Can you do it? I've done it. Can you do it? Imagine if the poll, because I think I'm winning. Imagine if the poll now switches and it's you. I'll be so sad.
The problem is we need everyone who's been here to vote to still be here. That's the thing.
Free? What are you doing free? What are you on about? Just because you got some power now.
Well, that's not coming up saying he's a moderator on mine. Is it saying it on yours?
Yeah, it's on the YouTube. Yeah, I can see that he's a moderator.
Michael's been replaced. Well, Michael's not here, so we've had to replace him.
Been watching Paul's videos and got me to show some respect as you've made me switch 180 on the whole rack idea. Mate, I'm the Rack Reaper. I changed my vote to Paul. Riddler was a fake Halloween fan. No, it's not, Gary. It's never too late.
It's too late.
It's never too late.
I tell you what, I love
Aussie Herb said Riddler, but I think he's already voted.
Yes. But I think he's saying about the poll. If a poll comes up, he won't be able to vote.
Yes.
Appreciate you, Oz Herbs. You're a legend.
Yeah. 29 people in chat now. This is Riddler, the God of War. And this is me. I've lost my scythe. The Rack Reaper. And this is my can't do it. Maybe a premiere thing, not a live thing. Right. Never mind.
So he's just got himself into a position of power.
Not for long. You've just lost all your rights, Ben. You failed. This is your rack that I reaped. I think we have a new winner. I just saw a huge spider on my ceiling. Looked away for a second and now it's gone.
Well, you've got a new pet now. You've got a new friend.
Got spiders. Look at this. This is my little dangly spider.
To be fair, I did a new setup for my jumping spider the other day. That's going to be one of my next YouTube videos. It was quite good. I showed you actually, didn't I?
Yeah. It looks good. We're going to start. We've started this podcast. We're 20 minutes in, but we're going to start this podcast off with some ghost stories. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say some ghost stories.
Yeah.
That I've acquired.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to read them all. They're all off the top of my head, but they're all, I know you don't believe, but they're all real. None of
Right.
them are made up. They're all stories that I have been told or are relevant to me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read them as if they're me telling the story, not, for example, my auntie told me. I'm just going to read them like they're me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you're going to tell me on believability scale, 1
Yeah.
to 10, even
Yeah.
though you don't believe, so you can't say 0 for everyone. And then you're going to tell me why it's not real.
Okay.
But I'm going to start with 1. So this is like my favorite one that I've ever heard. So I'm going to start with this one. And I'm probably going to tell it wrong. But anyway, this one isn't relevant to me, by the way, hence me telling it wrong. But one night I was sleeping and my girlfriend woke me up in an absolute panic and a scare. And she was just, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And apparently I was seizuring, and levitating over my body was a black figure. When I woke up, the figure disappeared and my girlfriend was distraught. Fast forward 3 years. I'm with a new girlfriend now, and nothing of sorts had happened since. That night, my girlfriend woke me up as I started to seizure, and a black figure was looming over my body. That's the story. So two different girls with the same guy had both witnessed black figures, and the girls didn't know anything about it. He didn't tell his new girlfriend, oh, by the way, there's a black figure that looms over me. So both girlfriends, this is my story, both girlfriends had seen the same figure, anticlimactic. Shut up, Fee. She's not one of the girlfriends that saw. Both girlfriends had seen the same figure over the same person at completely different intervals. And how do you explain that?
But this is the weird thing. For me, it's just a non-story. There's no... It's going to sound bad, but for me, there's nothing to discuss. It didn't happen.
Yeah, but how can you say that those girls are lying? They didn't see what they saw. And they both saw... There was details as well, like it was like certain facial features and certain things, and they both described the exact same thing.
The seizures, fine. You might just be having a fucking seizure in your sleep, and you should probably get that checked out, because that's not great. As for the black figure hanging above...
With let's just say, I don't know, just for the sake of the story, it had a dog head. So the exact same, it's such a weird, obscure figure, and they both described it exactly the same.
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is I don't believe that either of these people actually exist and that story actually happened.
No, it did.
But did it?
But why would said boyfriend lie? And why would...
Good story, isn't it?
So you're really that like nihilistic. You're that nihilistic. You're like, it's just made up.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah. For me, that's what I mean. Like for me, it's a... Because I know a lot of people who go, wow, 2 people said the same thing. For me, I'm just like, well, either 2 people are talking shit or the geezer who's the boyfriend is talking absolute shit. It just, for me, it's a non-story. The seizures I can believe, but a black figure hanging over this person, I'm just like, ravishing. Who's his better?
God of War, Rack Reaper, rid the reptiles. There he is in my shadow where he lives.
Look at the size of my traps as well.
With a fake beard. So who's better? Okay, next story.
Yeah.
When I was 7, a little boy with a bandaged face used to visit and play with me at the end of the bed. And this went on for months and months and months. And one day I was brave enough and I told my mum. She did something that I didn't quite understand at 7, and the little boy never came to visit me again.
Well, what did she do?
Well, I don't know. I was 7. She just said she was going to deal with it, and then the little boy never came back ever again. That was literally it. I was 7. I don't know.
But then the problem is there's not enough to go by, because if it was an actual little boy, we don't know that this is an actual little boy, or whether he thought he saw a ghost and the mum came in with, some holy water and sprayed it everywhere. There
was no holy water.
Or it could have just been some little shit that she didn't want hanging around with her kid. It's difficult without someone saying, and then
it was at night.
Yeah.
Go to bed. Good night. Love you. Good night. I can't tell you the exact time, 11 o'clock at night, the little boy would come and visit and play all through the night.
Mm.
And then I'd be, again, talking about myself, I would be tired in the morning. And I went on for months and months and months. My mum was like, why are you tired? And I was like, well, the little boy comes to visit. She was like, what little boy? I was like, oh, there's a little boy that comes to play at night. He has a bandage on his face. And mum was like, oh, how long's he been visiting for you? A few months now. Okay, don't worry, I'll deal with it. And then he never came back.
Could be kids have imaginary friends. They've got very good imaginations.
But then how
if he's not
how
sleeping,
did it all of a sudden disappear?
Well, because his mum maybe said, I'm going to deal with it. And then in that instance, it's changed the mindset and he's gone, oh, mum's dealing with it. So I'm assuming he's not going to turn up again. Oh, I think Ravishing has voted for me.
Ravishing has voted for Riddler. Pembo, hello. So, the Rack Reaper. Riddler Reptile's Rack. Ben's Balls Rack. Lost Souls of Racks. This is Riddler himself with the beard. And all his, always in my shadow. And Riddler is the God of War.
I am the God of War. With massive traps.
I have a massive scythe. Come at me, bro. So what's your believability? Ravishing's gone, wait.
Don't. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Come on!
No, I thought we were boys.
Put Riddler's Racks. Riddler Reptiles, Ben's
I thought we were boys.
I am the Rack Reaper.
Nah, I thought we was boys. Alex, you've let me down, man. You've really let me down. He was meant to be coming on for a live Q&A, but I don't think I'm going to have him on anymore. The fucking...
Anyway, stop crying that you're losing. I told you were going to lose. I told you, mate.
Don't apologise to me, bruv. That ain't going to help anything.
First one was a 0 out of 10, yeah?
Yeah.
And what are you giving this one out of 10 for believability?
Well, believability, I'll give it a bit more because kids' imaginations are so good. So that kid could very well have believed he was seeing, if it was you, for example, it could very well have believed that you were seeing a little boy every night, but it's like an imaginary. Because what's the difference between saying a little boy with a bandage on his face or a big purple dinosaur?
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that one I'll give maybe, I don't know, maybe a 3 or 4.
That story was my story.
Oh, that was yours, was it?
That was a me story. That happened to me, yeah. A few of these are going to be me stories.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a me story. That happened to me, yeah.
Well, I've told you about the one, the only one I've experienced with my missus, haven't I? Yeah.
Yeah, you're the worst. You're the worst person to be with.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I did sort of comfort her and help her get back to sleep again. And I'm not going to lie, because of the situation, I did just sort of go. But again, it in my head, it didn't happen. Shall I tell the story?
That's completely up to you. It's your story to tell.
It's not a big deal. So, yeah. So essentially, me and my wife, we weren't married at the time. We went to Poland and we went to Auschwitz. Not the nicest place in the world to go to for obvious reasons. But the thing is, it was a tiring day. Lots of walking, lots of traveling, seeing stuff that no human should ever be subject to. We saw it. Spent the day doing that, whatever. We went back to the hotel that night, fell asleep, was woken up at some ungodly hour in the morning where she's like crying and scared and shit like that. And she said that she looked over and in the corner of the room on this like chair, there was a little boy in pajamas, obviously from Auschwitz. She said he was just there and he was crying. And I was like, I switched the light on. I was like, there's no one there. There's no one there, sweetheart. There's no one there. She's like, no, there was. I was like, yeah, but even if there was, there's no one there now. I said, look, you're all right. She said, all right. So I settled her down, got her back to sleep. And now, like I say, because it happened and we were like, it was one hell of a day. Part of me did just go, let me just, yeah, no, we're good. I saw there was nothing there. Jobs are good. But it was scary as fuck. But
you don't believe.
When you've had a day like that, your mind is going to mess you up.
But you don't believe.
No, I don't at all.
This is the problem. Like, this is why you don't believe in ghosts. This is irrelevant for you. And obviously, ghost stuff, none of it is factual or scientifically based. So obviously, all of this is just an interpretation. All right? That shit out the way. But that's why kids and dogs are much more Riddler has shaved his head, Michael. Yes. So I am the Rack Reaper because you don't know about this. This is Riddler's reptiles. This is Ben's balls. This is the soul of Lost Rat Keepers, and this is Riddler in my shadow. This guy has a beard. This is his merch. Riddler is officially bald as the God of War.
Yes.
Have you changed Gary's vote to me, by the way?
Oh, has he actually changed his vote?
Yeah. You ruined it by saying you hate Halloween.
I didn't say I hated Halloween. I just find it irrelevant.
Yeah. Anyway, so ghosts.
Anyway.
Okay, so Ben has said, I don't believe in ghosts, and I swear down I've seen two on separate occasions. So,
Well, so
ghosts,
does that mean that you believe in ghosts then?
Ghosts,
Yeah.
kids and animals, when you look at ghost stories, it normally happens to kids or animals, right?
Yeah.
The stories, as it were. Fuck you, Riddler. Yeah, so it normally happens to kids, but that's because they're not shut off. So your brain is very much like, nope, doesn't exist. So chances are you're not tapped into that third realm as it was. Guys. He was shaving his head anyway. He just said he was going to do it in the spring.
Beside the point, mate. I've shaved my entire head off for this.
The first time I was at work, mentioned to my boss I'd seen someone, and she described a man I had seen perfectly. I never described him to her at all. I was 17, 18 at the time, and it was about 10 a.m.
But that could have just been the same bloke that you saw. Unless he was wearing a Tudor, I don't know, neck brace or whatever it is, and he was...
All right, I got one for you then. I got one. Cool. So I was a cleaner at the Joneses.
Yeah.
And I walked into the kitchen. I said, "Oh, hello, Mr. Jones. Would you like me to make you a coffee?" No, that's all right, Paul. Don't worry. I'll get one later. Okay, no worries. Walked through the house into the bedroom and I saw Mrs. Jones. I said, "Hi, Mrs. Jones. I've just offered Mr. Jones a coffee," and he said no. Would you like one? She starts bursting into tears. He said, "Mr. Jones died last night." And I've got a key, so I let myself in. It's not like they're gone and she just lost her husband, so she didn't go, "Oh, by the way, Paul, don't come in. She's a mess." How the fuck did I see him in the kitchen?
But the problem is with these stories, you have to take this as gospel, like this has actually happened. You know what I mean?
I just don't get why people would lie in this instant, because let's say this story is true, because you're just going, well, they're lying.
Yeah.
This story is true. I'm telling you the truth.
Right.
How do you explain it? Because just saying they're lying is not explaining it.
All right. Maybe they're not lying. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's get into it a bit deeper then. All right. I won't hit them with they're just lying. The human brain is incredibly complex. Now, sometimes people can have dreams that they don't realize were dreams and they then believe that they are memories. So they might think, shit, do you remember when that happened? But it was a dream that they had years ago. But in their heads, it did happen in real life. And they've convinced themselves that that's a memory, not the memory of a dream. Because the human brain...
How have I just seen the man in the kitchen that I've worked for years? I know him. He spoke to me. And then I've just gone in to the next room and his wife just said he's dead. He died last night.
But this is what I mean. Like, that's all well and good, but this is what I'm saying. Like that, telling it now, when it happened allegedly, however many years ago, there's no way of saying that it definitely happened, because, like I say, the human brain is very capable of telling you that something has happened when it actually didn't, but you've convinced yourself that it did. So it might not be a lie. You may very well fully believe that happened. But that's only because your brain has basically convinced you that you did. Because
I just can't understand how, like, you could walk into a room, see somebody, clear as day,
but this is what I'm saying. But he didn't.
But how do you know?
Because it's not possible. Ghosts, it's not possible. It's not.
Why is it not possible?
It's not possible. How are these apparitions and ghosts meant to be alive and showing, or not alive, but showing themselves and able to talk and able to walk, and it's not feasible. It goes against.
I've had this conversation with him. He just said he'd be like, no, my brain's playing tricks on me.
Riddler, are you against ghosts completely, or would you be? But this is what I mean. I think that's what I mean. If I was to see one, then yeah.
Right, about 10 years ago, I was drunk and I was on a bridge. When I saw some at the end jump off, and I ran over to help them, and there was nothing. I went home, did a bunch of powder, fuck with me bad. There was a time where someone in my family was driving, and a little girl ran out in front of the car, and the car just went straight through them. And this person does not believe in is probably makes you look like a believer. I'm not, and that's not the truth. They make you look like a believer.
Yeah.
And that happened, and they were like, nah, like what the fuck? And clear as day, saw just the little girl stationary, just, and not a white apparition, a little girl. And she just passed through the car.
Yeah.
And then they researched it, and a little girl had died at more or less that spot on the road, however many years ago. And this person did not believe in ghosts. How do you explain that one?
Again, it's one of those things. It's going to be the same reasoning pretty much every time. It's the human mind. It's powerful. It's very, very powerful. You know, think about it. When you're having a dream, you don't realize you're having a dream unless you've taught yourself how to lucid dream. You don't know that that's not real until you wake up. It's powerful. It's incredibly powerful. So it's not out of the realms of possibility for people to think, actually, that did happen, because your brain is very, very happy to convince you that, yeah, it did. Ghosts are 100% real. But you can't say that. You can't say that they're 100% real. It's like me saying I'm not technically allowed to say that they are 100% not real. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not allowed to say that.
Dinosaurs weren't real until they were found.
In my opinion, ghosts do not exist and they cannot exist. It's not possible, in my opinion.
So when you die, what do you think happens? Nothing.
Nothing. You turn into mulch, and that's it. You're forgotten, and life carries on.
But then do you not find the existence of the universe as we know it, like nothing became everything at the drop of a spark, and it was just like, and then nothingness and everythingness was all just a massive expanse, and we just happen to be perfectly formulated in the exact position we need to be on a spinning fucking rock that can support life? Do you not find that?
It's incredible. But the thing is, that's if you believe we are the only sentient life forms in the universe. It may have worked out well for us, but the thing is, there's probably countless other planets that have life on them that are in the correct parameters and in the right, settings for them to harbor life. So for us, it's incredible, but it's even more incredible if you think we're the only ones.
You've ruined it for yourself there, Ravishing. And I'll answer for him. Well, clearly your brain's playing tricks on you because you're doing hallucinogenic. You ruined it for yourself.
Gary said, but Ridley, you can't say they aren't real. But no, that's what I said.
Yeah, I think
I can't physically tell you that they are 100% not real. I can tell you I don't believe in it and there's no factual basis for me to believe in it. But I can't tell. It's like we've had this discussion before, Paul, and I've said to you, you've told me these stories, and I've said to you, right, I personally don't believe it happened, but I believe you believe it happened. I can't tell you that you're wrong. It's not up to me to tell you what you have and haven't experienced. But for me personally, I can't see how it's possible. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them. Like, I'm very respectful to the way people believe stuff, but at the same time, I don't have to agree.
So Michael, I'm assuming, is a skeptic, and I don't think he was here. So basically, for the most part, I think a lot of adults, myself included, and I'm a massive believer in the paranormal, brains are shut off to it. Because subconsciously, I probably am like, are they real? Even though I do believe that they're real, but subconsciously, there's probably a part of me that stops that third eye seeing. Whereas kids and animals, they don't they're not conscious of that third eye. They're not conscious of the spiteful ways of the world and the nihilism. So that's why majority of ghost stories happen to people that either don't realize that they're ghosts. For example, the Joneses with the man in the kitchen, because you're not like, oh, it's the ghost. You're just going to work and you see something, and that's what makes it more credible for me. Is because there's nothing to gain there, and it's like if someone said to me, "I stayed at a haunted house and I saw," I would be a skeptic. I'd be like, and if someone tells me a ghost story and I don't get like goosebumps, I'm like, it's not real.
Mm.
But there's a fly on my screen. I thought it was a fucking spider. But some people tell me ghost stories, and I'll get like these goosebumps, and I'm like, oh, because a lot of the ghost stories I believe are the ones that there's nothing to gain from them. Like someone going, "Oh, I stayed at a haunted house and my friend saw a figure pass through the door," and you're like, "Come on, you're looking for something." And
so when I told you, do you remember the first time I told you M's story when we went to Auschwitz?
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on that one?
I can't remember the exact in the moment, but I believe she would have saw something. I believe she would have been so. Okay, let me ask a couple of questions then. So
Cool.
I'm assuming she was incredibly emotional that day.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I'm a spiritual person and my personal beliefs, I believe without knowing it, her emotion allowed her to tap into another, let's just call it plane, where she was able to see something in that moment because of her guard was down because of how emotional she is or was. So she wasn't conscious enough to stay in her plane. So she became conscious. She gained consciousness, which is ravishing. Will like was his spiritual trips. You once you gain consciousness, you see everything and nothing at once. So I've never experienced it. I've had one spiritual experience, but I go to groups and talk to people. But anyway, so I think her ego was down and her consciousness was up and enabled her to see something, and something was there enabling her to see it. I believe it's real because she had nothing to gain. Obviously, it's a possibility she dreamt it and she was sad. Of course, that's a possibility. And when I hear ghost stories, my brain goes, right, how can I, because I want to believe and I want to find proof. So I'm like, how can I rationalize it? So the chances are she probably did dream it. But if that was Fee, I would have been like, 100% believe you saw a ghost. Like, and that's not me just comforting her.
Yeah.
That would have I would have believed her. I would have been like, 100% you've seen a ghost.
Because the way that I argue this one is, if you go to Thorpe Park or Alton Towers or something, or Disney World, and you spend the whole day on roller coasters, the chances are that night you're going to dream about being on a roller coaster. Do you see what I'm saying? So we spent the day at Auschwitz looking at pictures and videos and reading stories of kids in concentration camps. That's scatty and savage. Of course it's going to embed in your head. But like I say, if you have a birthday and you spend your day eating cake, the chances are you're going to have a lovely dream that night about eating cake. You see what I'm saying? Like it's in your head. Like your brain is dealing with, and it's putting pictures together, and it's building a story in your head and showing you, basically your experiences. So that's my argument for that one. Had let's say we'd spent the day, I don't know, say we'd gone to Rome and we'd just been in the Vatican, and then she woke up that night saying, I saw a little kid in pajamas and he looked like he had a shaved head and all that. That would scat me out maybe a bit more, because we haven't done anything with regards to that. But we just spent the day at Auschwitz, so I wasn't surprised that she had that dream.
Yeah. I'll get back to it. I'm just going to forget. I teach children. I teach a child who generally speaks to a ghost in her room and comes put with stuff that she shouldn't know. Like asking if she had a brother because the ghost told her she did, which she does. How do you explain that?
I teach a child who genuinely speaks to a ghost in her room. And
so I'm assuming their parents had a miscarriage.
Comes out with stuff that she shouldn't know, asking if she had a brother because the ghost told her she did, which she does. Well, that wouldn't be a miscarriage, I guess. That would be like a child passing away.
Maybe.
Again, it's a tough one. Like I say, I can't sit here and rationalize everyone's, stories. It's no partner's not together. Dad has a son. Is the son alive?
But then if she's only a little girl and she's never been told about it, she wouldn't know.
Again, there's not really a lot I can. There's not a lot I can say to rationalize it. For me, there's always something, whether I know what it is or not.
Matt, who are you voting for?
That
Also,
is-
Bam, who are you voting for? I'm Rack Reaper, if no one knows. Riddler Reptiles Rack. Riddler in my shadow. Ben's Balls Rack. Souls of Lost Rat Keepers. Riddler.
Kratos, God of War.
God of War. Man, the problem is with this kind of conversation, obviously there is no answer.
Yeah,
because
I enjoy it. You know what the thing is? As much of a non-believer as I am, I do sort of enjoy the conversations because they're different. Do you know what I mean? If I was that bad, I probably would have gone, "Oh, can we just fuck off? Like, I don't care." I do enjoy the conversations because I would like to. I find it fascinating, but only because I find the psychology and the human brain behind it fascinating. So it's not me going, "Fuck, did that really happen?" For me, I'm going, the human brain is incredible.
God of War, Bam for you.
War, I did put in effort into make up for a costume. Yeah, boy, nice one, Baum.
I worked with a carpenter once, and he was always on a bender, drinking, doing drugs. For anybody that believed in religion, ghosts, any of that was a fucking idiot. Can I ask a question which will decide my vote? Yeah, ask away.
I think
Riddler's not telling us, but I'm pretty sure I'm winning by like 3 or 4, but I don't know.
It's close. It's not 3 or 4 close. It's closer than that.
But yeah, so this carpenter did not believe in any of it. He would go out drinking, doing drugs, and just fuck about. Sleep around, do this, do that, blah 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 blah. Also, Serpentine. I haven't read your story yet, but can I share or can I not share? Anyway, he's always suffered with back problems, like since forever. Always suffered. He was telling me this story. He told me this story. And he was like, "Yeah, I was. What did he say he was doing? He's just left his current missus because she got pregnant or something. He was like, I don't want nothing to do with the kid." Honestly, Riddler, did you shave it solely for tonight, or did you do it because you were going bald anyway?
So I was swaying to Riddler's shaven head before he'd done that last year, boy. Allow me, Michael. Come on.
Yeah, did you shave it specifically for this, or were you planning on shaving it anyway?
It's a bit of both. All right. So hear me out. Let me explain. I have started thinning a little bit up here, but not horrendously. So what I was going to do was I was going to leave it for the winter because cold as balls, and I don't really want that in the winter. So I was going to maybe do it next year, maybe spring, summertime, potentially. And then we came up with this idea. And at first I was like, oh, I could do this. Maybe I could do that. And then I started thinking, well, what if... And then the idea of Kratos came up. So I did do it specifically for this, even though I'm going to do it in the future. And also, Matt, to that other point, I'm in the thinning on the Top Club and debating whether I go all off. I'm not upset with this. I'm not. I shaved it off and I was like, please don't hate it. Please don't hate it.
Matt doesn't have a beard, though.
Oh, yeah.
I find being bald... Okay, Riddler gets my vote. One for Riddler. Being bald, but having a beard helps.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, so this Chippy, anyway.
Yeah,
he just left his missus because she was pregnant. He didn't want nothing to do with the kid. Proper, like, miscreant, One day, he said he was just being a dick, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he was just blinded by lights. Like, it was in a room like this, and all of a sudden, it's just the room was so bright he physically couldn't see. He said he has no memory of what happened in that moment other than his sister came in, finding him laying on the floor, trying to scratch his eyes out, screaming, but he doesn't remember this. Then he came around. His back didn't hurt, and it's hurt for the last 20 years. And he felt this overwhelming sense of enlightenment. And now he volunteers for churches, and he thinks he's discovered God and all this other stuff. He refused to go to his sister's wedding because she's a lesbian, and obviously that goes against the Christian faith. Like, he's 180'd because of this one experience that he experienced. And his sister found him like screaming, clawing his eyes, but he doesn't remember that. He just remembers it being light. So how do you explain that?
If
It's
he's
called a
someone that's,
seizure.
if yeah, if he's someone who's had a history of drug abuse, alcohol abuse, things like that, then there's all right. He might not have been doing it on the day, but there's nothing to say that all of these things hadn't caught up on him, and it just fucked him. He just happened to have a bad reaction to something because his
But then
body.
what fixed his back?
See, that one, it's quite a tough one to prove or disprove, that one, because you're just going by what he's saying. You know what I mean? If he had said, for example, he was missing a hand and then he woke up and his hand was back, you can prove that. But to say my back was always in agony and now it's absolutely fine, it's a very difficult one to prove or disprove.
You're such a skeptic, man.
But it's true, though, isn't it? Like I say, if he'd have gone, oh,
maybe
look,
I'm just, I don't know.
and then one day he went, wow, different. But you know, that's like me saying, you know what, mate, I've always had a problem with growing a beard. I've never been able to grow one. And this morning I farted and it popped out of my face.
It's not at all, but okay.
Look at Ravishing trying to get back in my good books again. It's too late, mate. You've already ruined it. You've just messed us up.
You get an aura, often visual, prior to a seizure. And maybe it was a seizure. I mean, I believe him. I think he was in. I don't believe personally in God or Jesus, but I believe he believes that now.
That's the thing. That's one thing I will say. I believe that these people, including yourself, believe you've seen and experienced these things. It's not up to me to say what you haven't experienced. That's not fair. I just don't believe it myself.
I mean, yeah, you're entitled to believe what you believe.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care.
Yeah, when people say to me, "Oh, this and that," I'll go, "Yeah, all right." You know, it's just like with them when she tried telling me about like she caught a picture of a ghost, and then she showed me, and I was just like, "I can see what you're saying, but it's just not a ghost." She was like, "No, but it is. It's right there. There's a picture," and I was like, "But it isn't." She was like, "But it is," and that was it. At the end, we just like agreed to disagree.
Right, I'm going to read Serpentine's. He sent me one on Instagram, and I'm a terrible reader, everybody, so please bear with me. So, used to have seizures and sleep paralysis as a child after a, in brackets, paranormal incident. My mum woke up at 4 a.m. as my dad had to leave for the airport. My dad used to sleep beside me, and my mum would sleep by my brother. So essentially, I was sleeping alone in the room that time, and my mum must have just gone back to bed about 4:30 a.m. She saw a figure curled up on top of the closet, and when she tried to call it out, it jumped down, ran out. Minutes later, I came into the room crying, saying that something was hitting me on my stomach. And I soon had my first seizure. I soon had my first seizure. Okay, so it was hitting him on the stomach. He soon had his first seizure. She was scared, so she took me to the hospital at 6 a.m. I had an MRI scan done. The result was clear. The seizures continued for a year. My grandmother convinced my mother to get me exercised, as in holy water exercise, not go to the gym exercise. Just for people wondering.
Yeah.
And since then, no seizures. Also, I had a swelling in my stomach when I got my first seizure. I was 8 at the time. So what I think I can gather from that is his mum saw something.
Mm-hmm.
It then effectively attacked him, gave him seizures for a year, and didn't go away until religion got involved / the anti-devil holy water priest exorcism. What's your opinion?
Again, this sounds like I'm a fucking broken record for me, but for me, again, it's just a non-story. That someone could well have attacked him and hit him in the head, which gave him seizures. Now, as for This was hit on the head with peacock feathers and chanting kind of exorcism.
To get rid of it.
But again, for me, I just don't believe it.
Serpentine. I believe it's India you're from. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Are you quite a spiritual culture over there, or are you quite scientific? Because I don't know the culture. Because like this kind of family,
mix of both, isn't it?
The family, yeah, exactly. So I'm just asking for him personally, because the family I come from, because the family I come from are quite a spiritual family, but not spiritual to the level that I am. But have like weird beliefs and superstitions and shit like that. And my mum's really, 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 really into the paranormal. Whereas my dad's like, my dad didn't believe, now he does believe. But he's like, I'm not scared of them, they're dead, they're not going to fucking hurt me. But he also believes, which is weird, he believes once you're dead. Nothing happens. But now he believes in ghosts, but still believes when you're dead. Which doesn't make sense to me. But yeah. The culture, yeah. Person in my family is an atheist, hence my grandma had to convince my mum to get me exercised. Caesar's brought on by traumatic experience. Mum was a suicide. Michael, are you a believer?
What's that?
I'm asking Michael if he's a believer.
Oh, right.
As in,
it's a tough one. He's said some things that have shown me he's not, and then there's some things that he said they are. Maybe he's devil's advocate on the fence. But it's interesting. This is what I mean. Like, and obviously we've chosen the best day to discuss it as well. But yeah, but for me, I just because I remember once, where is it? Me and Em went to Jacob and his missus for dinner, and they were telling me about the I'm on Team Riddler with it. Yeah, ideal. Nice one, Michael. And they were telling me that there was like funny noises and rattling at night and in the walls and shit like that. And I was like, how old is the building? Oh, it was built in the 20s. Right.
It's the pipes.
Pipes, dodgy plumbing, it's things like that. I said, you haven't got a ghost. The thing is, I've been around people that are, like I say, my missus is a firm believer in like spiritual stuff and, you know, ghosts, spirits, all of that. She's adamant. She's absolutely adamant. I'm not, as I'm sure you can tell.
But then, how do you rationalize? I don't know how to answer the question because I know what you're going to say. And do you just go like, yeah, I believe that you saw it, but you're wrong?
No, I don't believe that they saw it. I believe they saw it. For me, again, let me just go back to the
yeah, I'm just going to bring these up. You carry on.
Because I have no experience. Yeah. So for me, it's so going back. So for example, that Auschwitz story. Yes, I believe that she believes she saw a little boy in pajamas on the chair. I believe she believes that.
Do you believe certain people can see stuff that other people can't, though? Or do you believe, as in like clairvoyance? Do you believe that they can do what they're saying they can do, or do you just think like?
What annoys me is these people that that apparently can reach out and talk to the dead and find family members, and they've made a career out of it. And
no, I agree. Yeah,
multi-millionaires because they're telling someone, oh yeah, oh your dad passed, didn't he? Well, I'm not being funny. This person is 60 years old, so his dad is probably dead. Yes, and then they're like, he did, yeah. Well, no fucking shit. You know what I mean? So, did it look like the possibly?
I personally don't believe either. I just found this experience odd. I have seen figures and heard voices for half my teenage years, but so in my depression days, I would have like shadow people following me. And when I was like really, really, really depressed, I verbally made a deal with the devil. I basically said, like, I will give you my soul if you just take this away. He didn't take it away, so clearly the deal didn't go through. But I was in such a bad place, and my mum was like, "Did you bury something on a crossroads?" And I was like, "All right, Nameless, you need to vote. What's up?" So
Yeah.
I am the Rack Reaper. Riddler reptiles racks, Ben's balls racks, souls of lost rat keepers. Here's Riddler in my shadow. Always his merch, fake beard and everything. And then Riddler is the god of war. Who do we think is the winner? I forgot where I was.
Your mum asked you if you buried something at a crossroads.
Oh yeah. So my mum was like, "Did you bury like a dead animal as a that's basically the way to summon the devil?" Like I say, my mum's superstitious. So I was like, "No, mum," and she was like, "Okay, thank God, thank God, thank God." But ever since then, I had like these black figures follow me, and again, I'm not like, oh my God, the demon's coming to get me. I didn't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like when you're alone and you're thinking about things. You're middle at work, fucking using a screw, and there's just something starts closing in, and you look and they're gone. And that happened for a long time. And again, I don't know what it was. I'm not going to sit here and go, "Oh yeah, definitely ghosts or dip." I don't know what it was, but I definitely saw it.
See, again, the thing that came to my mind straight away is you said that when you were depressed. That's because at that point your brain is not being itself. Your brain is just it's going to do anything it can to just mess with you. Basically, you're not in a good way. Like if you'd have said to me, I was on holiday, I was at an all-inclusive buffet, and I was the happiest I've ever been, and all of a sudden a demon turned up.
Nameless is voting for you.
Yes, Nameless. Appreciate you. Let me write that down. Then yeah, different. But when you start a story with when I was severely depressed, you go, well, there you go. Like for me personally, obviously I'm not telling you what you did or didn't see, but for me personally, I go, well, you've already explained it. Oh, this is close.
There was another story of like a family member and a superstition in my family that you don't. So like I've always come from a family where we hunt and stuff, and one of my great uncles was a little shit, and he used to shoot like the little birds. And my great granny was like, "If you ever shoot a robin, the devil will come and visit you. He'll come and visit you." And he shot a robin, and that night he was about 9, and that night he was visited by the devil. The devil grabbed his ankle, burnt a handprint into his leg, and he had that scar until the day he died. But he didn't have it when he went to bed. He woke up screaming, had a handprint burnt into his ankle, his shin, I guess. And then he had like fingerprints for, I don't know, 70 years or whatever it was.
Hang on, Brandon's asked. Oh, hang on, I don't know if I can go that deep. Boy. There you go, how's that? Boy. Michael, I'm going to go with, you bastard. All right, Michael has gone for Paul. Oh, this is so disgustingly close. It's not even funny. And again, so obviously, there you go. So Matt has just said, is that not the same? Is that not someone teaching him a lesson? So if you hadn't if you hadn't said the part about obviously him having a scar on his leg until the day he died, that is a bit more difficult to explain. But again, it's one of those where if someone tells you something during the day and then you do it, the likelihood is you're going to have a dream of this thing happening.
Yeah, but then he had the scar. Like, this happened.
But then did he have the scar?
Yeah.
And was it from a night where a devil visited him, or was it a scar that he's always had, or he hurt himself that night?
Right, I don't want to go into this publicly.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you the family that I'm from had no reason to like make it up. So he would have gone to bed without it, and he would have woken up with it.
Again,
now, I obviously I can't say someone could have gone in there with a fucking poker and he scolded him. But I don't know.
A lesson. Yeah, I told you so.
But and my family aren't. These people wouldn't have been religious. Believing in the devil doesn't necessarily mean you believe in God. They're not religious. And my mum says that she saw it. because it would have been her uncle.
Mm.
And he always used to talk about it. And he had a hand burnt into his shin.
But then, like I say, but that's the thing. You've already said that your mum is very into the supernatural and things like that. So automatically, she's going to be a firm believer of that. And
well, she was told it from a young age. She like, regardless if she believes or not, she was in an environment where she was raised around it. Like, I'm sure Elijah would believe that the sky is made of meatballs if that's all I told him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? Actually, we best be careful here. Otherwise, we're going to fall down a rabbit hole and I'm personally going to get cancelled. But that's my biggest problem with religion. And if my parents are watching, I apologize because obviously they're not best pleased that I'm not religious. But if you tell a child from an early age God exists and he's in the sky, and if you're not good, you're going to go to hell, that child is going to believe that. In the same way that if you raise a child and tell them the sea is blue because there's a pixie fairy that dyes it every night when you go to bed, they're going to believe that as well. Do you know what I'm saying? The child's mind is like a sponge.
BH. So
BH, what's going on?
The god of war.
Yeah, boy.
Or the Rack Reaper. Riddler reptiles. Ben's balls. Souls of lost rat keepers. And of course, don't forget, Riddler reptiles always in my shadow with a fake beard prop.
You're such a prick.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't.
Also, my mum, right? She is a very spiritual person and believes in weird and wonderful, but she's also not like, she's like me. It has to be rationalized. Like if there's a she won't believe it.
Yeah.
All right. See you later, Mr. Ben's balls. Your rack has safely been reached. Hang on. How old was? I mean, my mum's probably been exposed to the devil is real and ghosts are real and shit from the day she was born. Like, there's no. But then also, I was exposed to a lot of stuff from the day I was born that I now no longer believe. So I'm not. You can
so
make
this is what I mean. Like I was raised as a Greek Orthodox Christian. I was christened. I was raised to believe that this is factual. This is true. This isn't a story. This is real. But then as I grew up, I started questioning things myself, and here I am, an atheist that wants all religion abolished. Again, we won't get into it, otherwise I'll get cancelled and upset people. But it just, that is what it is. He says, dressed as a god of war. Yeah.
But then he wouldn't. Again, I can't elaborate, but he wouldn't have just gone on this, because it would have been, let's call it a belief. It wouldn't have been, oh yeah, I did this at work. Let's pretend it was the devil. It would have been like a story that the family sort of has held on to and will tell people.
It's a tough one, because the problem with a story like this is it's quite far removed, because it happened to a mum's uncle. So you've got 3 generations of story already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like if you'd have said that your uncle, for example, it happened to him and he lives down the road and you can get a picture of his foot, different. But it's harder when it's that far removed and it's a generational story.
So then I got last one and then we'll change. So I got one more, which is probably, there's a lot of detail to it, but I'm going to keep it short. So again, I'm going to tell it like it's me. When my kid was really young, probably about 3, we just moved into a new house and he was completely always fine. He's always been a great kid, like never stirred, like always been amazing. And we moved into this new house and he was really unsettled all the time, really unsettled. And we couldn't figure out why. So we ended up moving him from his own bedroom, which he's always slept in since like 10 months old. And now he sleeps with us. And he would always wake up and point and cover his eyes and cower, and would always be scared of a different point in that and always be scared. This would go on for about a year or so. And eventually he would point and be scared and say, "Army man, army man, army man, army man." And that's all he would say and be scared. So let's just say he was 2 going to 3, because 3 to 4 would be able to properly articulate. So he was 2. And by 3, he was able to go, "It's an army man, it's an army," and was scared. as it was getting on and on and on and on, it was getting worse and worse and worse. And it was every night. It'd gone from once a week to every single night, and it was every single night. And I didn't believe. I thought he was a kid. I thought he was full of shit. It's just a kid. Like, he's just seeing something. My missus was like, "No, he's definitely who's a believer, and I'm not." She was like, "It's definitely something. It's something. It's something. It's something. It's something. It's something." One night it was really, really bad, and he'd woken up absolutely screaming. So I picked him up because normally I let the missus deal with it because I couldn't be bothered because it's just my kid. I was getting quite annoyed. I was tired. I was groggy. I couldn't be bothered with work, you know. And I was just like, oh, for God's sake. And I settled him down, settled him down, settled him down, settled him down. As he settled down, as I put him down, he woke up, his eyes locked, and he screamed and pointed. And I looked up and saw an army man. We then called an exorcist. They exorcised said army man, Waits, God of War. Ended up speaking to a few of the neighbors because it was terraced housing. And it turns out a few of them had seen an army man. And since our exorcism, none of them had seen him.
The problem with this one is this could very well be someone that you know their story, yeah, or yours.
New vote.
Yeah.
Right. Jonas, God of War. Or the Rack Reaper. We have Riddler Reptiles, Ben's Balls, the souls of lost rat keepers, plus Riddler in my shadow.
You're such a fucker.
Anyway, story.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So whether that's your story, whether that's someone you know, whether that's, I feel like I've heard that story before.
So say it's my story.
Yeah.
Why would I lie?
I have no idea. I can't. There's no way I can justify or rationalize any of your stories because it's not up to me to decide. But again, it could be factors outside of your control, like, you know, being a new parent. I'm surprised that I didn't see ghosts and shit because I was depressed. I got postnatal depression. I was exhausted. I was stressed at work because I was on a temporary contract and didn't know I was going to keep my job. I'm surprised I didn't fucking have things like that. But that's what I mean. Like, there's always external factors that will make your brain think and see weird shit. Like, if you're a new parent, as I'm sure you remember, it's tiring, man. It's exhausting. And at that point, you're just not yourself. You know, so if your kid is waking up every night at 3 a.m. for 2 hours, of course you're going to be scatting out because you're exhausted. The human brain does not do well when you're tired, when you're hungry, when you're thirsty, when you're, you know, this is where most people see things. You know, there was a person who was in the desert and he didn't eat for 3 days and then God came and saw him. Well, of course he saw God. He hadn't eaten and he was in the desert for 3 days. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then I think if that kind of thing happens to you, you're enabling, like I say, your ego to drop and your consciousness to subconsciously open. And that's why you see them.
I think, do you know what? I think that's the difference between a believer and a non-believer. Because to me, that's not opening your mind. That's your mind being so exhausted that it will just believe anything it sees. I think, do you know what? I think we've basically just found the fundamental difference between a believer and a non-believer.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. That's, I tell you what, that is very, very interesting.
For me personally, like looking at things in life and then just being like, nah, I just find that a very, like, I don't know, just a unjoyous existence. I don't know.
Let me put it this way, though. If someone had come to me and said, right, I genuinely saw a UFO.
Yeah.
I saw a UFO. It was disc-shaped. It was moving too quickly, too erratically. Part of me would be like, but I would believe that more than someone saying I saw a ghost, because the chances are we're not alone in this universe. Are there extraterrestrials that are more advanced and visiting other planets? There is a possibility. For me, the potential is there. but I can't see any way, shape, or form how ghosts and apparitions and spirits can be real. It just, there's no basis for it. That's the difference. I'd sooner believe in someone seeing a alien than a UFO. I mean, than a ghost.
Mad.
Yeah.
The problem is with it, like I said, that obviously we haven't argued once, so I was going to use the word argue. I was going to say there's no point arguing it, but it's not an argument.
Yeah.
Because obviously we believe completely different things, and we're not going to change each other's mind, which is completely fine. Yeah.
And you know what? I like that, because the art of discussion, I've said this before, the art of discussion doesn't exist anymore, because everyone just wants to push their opinion and make the other person believe what they believe. So what they'll do is they'll go, I'm not listening to what you're saying. Here's what I'm saying. Believe what I'm saying, or you're a dickhead. No, you tell me what you believe. I'll tell you what I believe. And if we go our separate ways, still believing our own and not each other's, sweet. We've discussed it. That's cool. I like it. I really enjoy it. Discussion.
So when people take psilocybin, right? Because I want to, it's illegal. I don't want to do psilocybin. So when people do psilocybin and stuff, or like ayahuasca, and have these spiritual trips, I've spoken to a lot of people that've done it, and I've never done it because it's illegal, and I've never been in the right mindset to do it because I've always been depressed, and I'm petrified to what I would see. So that's why I've never done any, because it's illegal, but that's why I've never done any drug ever, full stop, never. Like, nothing. And people don't believe, because like from the fucking UK and everyone fucking does weed, but I don't even drink. I don't do any of it. And that's because I am scared to what it would do to my brain, because I'm a believer. If I see something, so I'm aware of it. Like I'm a skeptical believer, because I know if I see something, I'll be like, oh my God, is that real? Is that fake? Because my brain, because I know me. So that's why I haven't done this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking, what's the word? A fucking lunatic. I'm like, oh my God, you know, like I try and rationalize it.
Yeah. But if you were to have a substance that would maybe take away that rationalization, it might fuck you up.
So I'm waiting until I'm in a better mindset and in a place where it's legal.
Well, let me put it this way: I've been to Amsterdam.
Yeah, but then I think that's different though. I think it has to be something like ayahuasca, DMT.
Well,
LSD.
mine was, I did truffles, so basically magic mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
And the worst thing I had with that, which was still funny as fuck afterwards, was that, no, there was two. One of them was that I was so impressed and amazed that my shadow was doing the same thing as my fingers. I was doing that, and obviously my fingers, obviously the shadow was doing the same thing, and I was buzzed. I was like, this is sick. Yeah. And it was against the wall and my fingers were doing it, and it was amazing. And then the other one was, I went for a piss, and then I went to wash my hands, and I was washing my hands, and the water felt incredible. It felt like just pure magic. And I turned around and I said to a friend of mine, I was like, because he was watching me, because I was washing my hands for about 5 minutes. He was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I looked at him and I went, have you done this before? And he went, what, wash my hands? Yeah, probably. And I was fucking unreal, innit? And I was just enjoying the water. And
but then for a second, you were a believer.
Why?
Because your mind was open. So that joyous bliss you experience washing your hands, is my brain,
mate. It
interacting with.
It was incredible. It was.
But that's what I'm saying. So you for a minute there, you were a believer. You became a believer.
Yeah.
Because your brain is so shut off to the mundane stuff, whereas mine's open to it because I'm spiritual, if you want to call it that.
By the way, if any of my employers are watching this was when I was a lot younger and I wasn't under your employment. All right, I'm just going to put that. And I was in Amsterdam, so it was legal. So I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, I've spoke to some people that have seen some things and done some things, and I just believe there's no reason to lie. And I think because I genuinely believe their experiences, and because I believe, obviously you don't, but do you believe in reincarnation?
No.
I
tell you what, I would love to believe in reincarnation. I think the idea of reincarnation it would be incredible. But then at the same time, I'm almost glad I don't believe in it, because a lot of people get lost in, whether it's reincarnation or believing in heaven, people live to die. So it's like they're not living in the moment, they're living for the next life. And at that point, you're missing out on your current life. But for me, if I believe that when I die, I'm going to become worm food and then fuck all is going to happen from then on, I can enjoy what I'm doing in the here and now a lot more.
But I still believe that though. But I believe my soul will move on. But I won't have any recollection of it. So once
Yeah.
I die, Pulse Monitors is dead.
Yeah.
My life is done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
My energy will go elsewhere.
Okay.
But for me personally, that's it. I'm dead. I'm fish food too. That's it.
Like I say, it's not that I think people are lying. Like the ones, like I say, the people that can apparently speak to the dead, I think they're talking absolute shit. But when people tell ghost stories like yourself, I don't think people are lying. This is what I mean. I don't think they're making a story up in their head. I know I've said it a few times, but I believe they believe that it happened. I don't think they're lying. I think they, like I say, with my missus, I believe she believes she saw that little boy. But at the same time, I don't believe it actually happened. I don't think she was lying to me. I don't think she decided to wake up and go, let's fuck with him a little bit. Like, she's not like that.
No.
That's something I would do. I'd wake up and go, I woke up and saw a giant dildo at the foot of the stairs. You know what I mean? But yeah, she wouldn't, believe that either. But I don't think she's lying, but I also don't believe it happened.
So the problem is now, right? Because we're getting into beliefs. And obviously I know my belief systems are weird. I know what I believe is like, you're a fucking idiot. I also don't care.
I wouldn't say fucking idiot.
And the answer to the question is, I don't know. Where's the soul located and what does it look like? I don't know. How could I know? Like, like I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
I don't believe in heaven. I don't believe in hell.
Yeah.
I've
just had a message off of my brother-in-law, by the way, not Jacob, my sister's partner.
Okay.
He's just sent me a picture of. Thought I'd just tune in to get your viewers up, and then I'm greeted to this while you're talking about reincarnation, and just thought, what the fuck am I watching?
Welcome to True Tales.
I mean, it's wild. It is wild. We're literally sat here having the most serious discussion about souls and the afterlife and reincarnation and ghosts and shit like that, whilst you're dressed as a Grim Reaper and I'm Kratos.
So I'm not necessarily, like, I use the word soul for simplicity. The honest answer to the question is I don't know what happens when I die. That's my honest answer.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can believe what I want, but none of us know what happens when we die.
Yeah.
Right? I've listened to a lot of podcasts on people that have died and come back, and a lot of people say that they see stuff, and they're medically claimed dead, and they see stuff. Yeah. Now, all right, fine, the brain's been starved of oxygen, blah, 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 they see shit. Whatever, I don't care, right? I don't care for that. A lot of people, once they die and have come back, say they see shit. And it's all more or less a similar thing. It's almost, so I'm a spiritual person. I believe in consciousness, and consciousness is everything and nothing all at the same time. All there is. That's it. Like, everything is it. Everything is the same. Everything is the same part of everything. Like, it's almost like, imagine it like the ocean. It's just, the ocean is the ocean. Everything in the ocean is the ocean. The ocean is the ocean. And I believe in the universe being the universe, and everything is in the universe. And once I die, I stay in the universe, regardless if I'm eaten by worms and I just become a tree because I become fertilizer, and my energy just becomes a plant. I don't know. But I believe my energy. I believe it's energy, and I don't necessarily believe in souls. I believe in energy, and my energy will continue to serve the universe, and it will continue to be one. And I believe in ego. And once you realize that you have no ego, and there is no ego.
Well, in all fairness, there's literally, you've almost brought it back to science. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred.
Yeah, but I believe in a bit more than once I'm dead, I'm dead. I do
Yeah,
believe in I'm going to go. I won't be aware of it
yeah,
until I'm fucking hell. Until I've learned enough lessons in enough lives to become conscious,
Mm.
I will not be aware of all of the lives I've had. The life I have right now is shit.
Mm.
Like mentally, I've been through a lot of fucking mental shit and a lot of fucking childhood trauma and all this other shit. And I do constantly question to myself, I'm like, if this is the only life I have, why was I given this life? So
Mm.
maybe I believe that there's a lesson in it, and maybe I believe that I'm going to go on and take these lessons and do this other stuff just to cover my wounds because I've been really fucking hurt.
Well, maybe some people would say perhaps in a previous life or a previous plane, you were a twat and a dickhead and you're being punished for it.
Did you see stuff, Gary?
The thing is, before we, I'm assuming, potentially go elsewhere with this podcast,
I don't mind staying on this topic. I'm happy
I
to
don't
discuss
either.
my thoughts
But
and feelings. Yeah.
no one knows 100% for a fact, scientists, religious, spiritual, no one knows for a fact what happens when you die. There's no way of knowing. We know what happens to the body, that you can say what happens. But it's not up to any of us to say exactly what happens after you die because no one knows. Which again, I find fascinating. Like I say, you can't disprove what happens to the body. The body turns into mulch.
Yeah.
You know? But what happens after that? Is there more? No one knows. I personally don't think so. But that's not me saying it doesn't. That's me saying I don't believe it does.
I'm going to say documentary, but I don't fucking know. I watched like a thing on YouTube and it was like a big thing. And there was this kid and he was like, yeah, my dad killed me. And I'm buried under a tree in the garden. And his parents
Oh,
were
I
like, what
think
the
I've heard this one as well.
He's like, what the fuck are you on? Parents were like, what are you on about? What are you on about? What are you on about? And I don't know. They fucking lived in Cornwall and their old selves lived in Scotland. I don't know. And it like opposite ends of the country. Never been to Scotland. Yeah, I'm buried under the tree here. It never went away. This kid got to like 10, 11, 12, 13 and was like, yeah, no, I'm buried under the tree. I'll take you there. I'll show you. So they went to Scotland for the very first time, knew his way around Scotland like the back of his hand, took him to a garden, took him to the tree, said to the person who lived in the house, oh, it's like, I'm your son, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. The dad ended up confessing that he killed his son and buried him under the tree. They dug up some bones. I personally, 100%, if that story is true, I believe that. I believe in reincarnation. So I believe that this person had reached a level of consciousness that they were able to remember their past selves. I'm not at that state yet. I may never get to that state. I've had one spiritual experience where I completely dissipated and become everything and nothing at once, and that was after a traumatic event. So everyone's going to be like, oh, your brain was playing a trick on you. I know what I experienced. So, and the thing is with beliefs, right? I'm very content with what I believe, and I'm sure you're very content with what you believe. And I don't really have any intention for people to change my mind, but I think the problem is with this kind of subject, for me, I'm the crazy one. Because I have the outlandish belief, whereas most people are just like, nah.
Yeah.
And then you almost feel like you lose. The problem is, I don't really share beliefs publicly.
It's like you almost lose credibility in your argument. Yeah.
And then also people will just look at you like you're crazy, which I personally don't care about.
No.
I none of this matters to me. This is all stories, And if people don't like me for who I truly am, then fuck off. But the problem is with beliefs and religion. Again, I'm not a religious, but you even see it with veganism. If your strong belief is veganism the only way, you get belittled because it's and that's why I don't really publicly share beliefs because I've only scratched what I truly believe. And it's not because I'm ashamed. It's just like they're almost like personal, like my beliefs, you know. And I've never been an agenda pusher. We've spoken about it a little bit, but I've never once been like,
that's like essentially what we've done there is we've basically done what we've done tonight, except just me and you. We've just brought everyone. We've just brought everyone on this ride with us today. Which, seeing everyone's comments has been fucking fascinating.
I saw the rest of the solar system, but wasn't in it.
I think there was another comment further up from Gary.
Okay, so I totally believe there is something after we die. Like it's not heaven or hell. It's just another existence or another plane, not Earth. Because I saw Earth. I saw that. Yeah, exactly. You become everything. You become consciousness, and a lot of people that have these experiences say the same thing. I saw the rest of the solar system, but wasn't in it. Yeah, you're everything and nothing. This is exactly what happened to me when I had my spiritual experience. Just out of the side, and I went back. This is the first time. The second time I saw nothing but leaves and trees. There was people talking, but I couldn't hear the words. Tons of birds. And when I meditate, like the start of the Big Bang Theory, the TV show, where it's like the fucking Big Bang and everything evolves. When I don't really meditate, but when I meditate, and I can, which isn't often, get to a place of like nothingness. That's literally what I experience. Just the title of the big. It's just I go through everything.
Yeah.
And then just come back. It's weird. It's fucking weird. And I can't explain.
Will, right. Will, you need to vote, my friend. Whose costume is the best for the Halloween?
God of War
or God of War
or the Rack Reaper. This is Riddler Reptiles. This is another person's channel, Ben's Balls, who I reaped. The souls of lost rat keepers. And of course, Riddler Reptiles in my shadow with fake beard. Who wins? Who wins, Will? The
Rat Reaper or Kratos?
I'm coming for the racks. You will all keep naturalistically when I
Oh, for God's sake. See, in all fairness, one thing I will give you, the thought that you put into this is mad. Like, you went in. I have to hand it to you.
On a spiritual trip.
You went in.
I saw it, mate. I visioned it. I manifested it. Riddler in my shadow. Like, this is literally his merch. This is Ragnar right here.
I'm pretty sure that's the only reason you bought my merch, isn't it? Oh, no, you didn't even buy the hoodie.
Didn't even buy it. No, we've got the Aya hat just to mug you off.
The Aya hat as well, yeah. To be fair, where is Aya? I'm surprised she hasn't asked to go out for a shit yet.
The Rack Reaper wins.
Oh, let me write that down.
Oh,
the fake fan.
Oh, both your American boys. I'm not even active in the chat anymore.
I know, and they've fully.
Jonas, does that mean you vote for me? What the fuck is
God of War? Oh,
come on, Jonas. Jonas, vote.
Wait. Let me just show him the picture. Maybe that'll help. Maybe
vote if I for one of us. I'm coming from your racks.
Here we go, Jonas. Look, there you go.
Riddler, I'm coming for your rack.
There you go. That's what I've gone for, all right?
This is what I would look like if I was bald.
Working on this. What are these two up to, honestly? I'm going to have to... I'll message the chat later on and see what these two Americans are up to.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm not even active in that chat, and they've both abandoned you.
I know.
These are Royal Pythons, guys, as seen in racks, which are trying to escape the racks now that they're here with my cobwebs that I need to take down because I have a podcast.
I should have got a snake. Oh, hang on, I probably should have got a snake with me, to be fair, but oh well. Yeah, blasted out. No, we're getting there.
But yeah,
I'm really upset that Brad isn't here. I think Brad would possibly have my back.
I've got to be winning, surely.
It's I'm not going to tell you.
How many votes are in it? Like, what's the numbers?
We have got 26 votes. We're separated by 2 votes. That's how close it is.
It's like Fury and Ngannou.
Oh,
Brad is here.
Guy.
Brad, did you get?
And he shall appear.
Did you get the backstory, Brad? Did you get that? This is Riddler Reptile's Rack. Riddler in my shadow. The Rack Reaper.
Or Kratos from God of War. What are we saying, Brad? Who you voting for? Who's got the best costume for this special?
I need Jonas to vote. Jonas, come on.
Come on, Jonas.
He's on your chat too. He's on the Riddler Reptiles channel.
Yeah, to be fair, Brad's on mine, Baum's on mine. Although I think Baum goes on both of ours, to be fair. Because he's a legend.
Literally, you're like, if Brad was here, he'd vote for me. Brad's just like...
Paul needs to do too much explaining every time.
Do you know what? I'm going to completely stop everybody there, right? Of course I need to explain it, because this is a visionary. It's a mastermind. Like, do you know how much fucking... This is... Have
to go through the God of War. Paul looks like an old lady.
I think that brings it even now.
Jonas. Riddler.
Riddler for the costume, Paul for the background. Brad, you have to pick one, sadly.
Oh, fuck. Mad. Right. Where are we going from here? What are we doing?
I mean, I've done the last hour and 40 minutes of the podcast. You're more than welcome to take the reins.
Well, one thing we were discussing in the week. Where's your backdrop? My backdrop is unfortunately Iraq as well, or Ragnar, who's asleep.
If I don't get this, this is fucking robbery.
I disagree. That it's a robbery. I think it's incredibly close, Brad Riddler.
I think that
my guy, Brad.
Does that bring... Okay, what are the scores now? Because one person was winning by 2. Yeah, I was winning by 2.
You were winning by 2, but now it's even. We're literally on 14 votes each. That's mad.
Yeah.
I do say it's close. I don't know why, Will. I just read that in a British accent. I do say it's close. I do say. What were we discussing in the week that we said might make a good, even though we've been on for nearly 2 hours already. We were discussing something that we said might make a good discussion topic for True Tales. I mean, maybe it might be better for the next one.
Fee, did you vote? Fee didn't vote. She said 50-50. Fee, come on. It's biased, but put Paul. All right, Fee, I want you to be honest. If you think Riddler wins, put Riddler. I don't want you to say me for the sake of me.
Riddler is that a bald cap? Will, it's not a bald cap. I've shaved my head. Look, I've shaved it. That's a shaved head.
I feel like everyone's going to desert me.
I have the British. You know what, Alex? We haven't heard your British accent in too long.
Yeah, let's talk lizards.
Let's talk lizards. I don't know what Riddler is.
For me.
Oh, fuck. All right, Fee. Am I allowed to?
Hi, guys.
Oh, lovely.
The guys are going to talk about some lizards today. Oh.
Oh, fucking funny.
He shaved it because he was going to shave it anyway. Don't get suckered in. Don't get suckered in. He shaved it because he was going to shave his head anyway. So he just pushed it forward so he could fucking try and get one up on the Rack Reaper.
I hate all of you.
What's funny as well, mine's true. This is literally true.
Well, how do you know Kratos isn't true?
I don't, but you're not him. Yeah. I am the Rack Reaper. But this isn't even a costume. This is me. Fuckers, all of you.
But then if that's the case, this was a costume competition. If yours isn't a costume, then it's null and void, isn't it?
No, it wasn't. We never said we're dressing up in costumes. We just said we're dressing up. And I don't normally wear my robe when I go out in public.
See,
Anyway.
I'll tell you what, actually, I'll tell you why I thought you were in a blow-up suit. Is because on that voice note you said, "Oh, I'm trying to get upstairs, but Fee's currently helping me because of my
Yeah, it's
costume."
because I have a skirt.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking to myself, he's blown it up. He's got to be in a fucking giant lizard.
Nah, I'm in a skirt. I've got a skirt. Should I do I haven't done a stand-up yet. Look at this. Wee. Woo. Woo.
Well, no, answer the question. Are you hot as balls in that?
No, it's fucking freezing in my loft at the minute.
Oh, is it? Oh, right.
Yeah,
I'm in the reptile room, so it's quite warm anyway. But luckily, I'm topless. I tell you what, I've got people on my stream today, and legends, a lot of you.
I like that everyone supports charity by voting for you.
So lizards, that's what Michael said. So let's talk.
What's going on? What's going on with your reptile room, man? What's happening?
What's going on with the reptiles? All right. So as we discussed, my what's it called? I've got my blue tongue. He's cool as fuck. I've got the tokay, cool as fuck. And yet, going on from almost what we were discussing on the last episode, I'm still here thinking, what's next? Now, obviously, I can't get anything anytime soon, and it's not going to happen. And yet, I've got these incredible animals that I adore with every fibre of my being. I'm enjoying their setup. I'm enjoying their care. But then I'm in conversations, for example, with one of the group chats, and everyone's talking about which monitors they want to go for next. And I'm there going, I want one as well. I can't, but I want one. But why?
That's just fucking human nature, I think. I was going to say that I don't feel like I'm in a place where I feel like I need more. I've also got 3 new monitors, 5 new geckos coming, and a new iguana. So, yeah.
Although, to be fair, that iguana is sick.
Yeah, it's a very sick iguana. If you want to see it, join Patreon.
Oh, very well done.
And the new monitors as well. They're on Patreon. They're not public.
No.
Yeah, I'll be honest, mate. I think I did a podcast recently, self plug, with Brandon Van Asten, Mr. Canadian Cold Blood, which
banged.
Yeah, it's on like 600 views, and it went out Sunday night. Mate, it's sick. Anyway, that's not why I'm saying it. I am just going to check now for the sake of the story. But I currently on 523. We'll take it. And my last week's video is on over 1,000 views now, as in since Thursday. And what we today, Tuesday. But anyway, today my brain has just been going like, I could be a reptile breeder, Like, I can fit. That episode was a banger, to be fair. Thank you very much, Mr. Tree. I think I worked out something stupid. Like, I could get, including if I put them in the middle row, because I could put side, and then back to back in the middle row. I could get like over 60 4x2x4s, 4 long, 2 deep, 4 tall in my room. Over 60. And that's 4x2x4. If I cut them into 4x2x2s, that's like loads. Not saying I am. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And my brain was like, got the potential. Yeah.
Yeah. My brain was like, fuck the mangroves. Fuck the peach roads.
I will.
Got to head out, boys. Appreciate you stopping in, Mr. William Exotics. And my brain was just like, mango as a pet, toad as a pet, tree monitors as a project, but pets, and then just breed shit. Was offered nebulosis today. Oh, what? They got papers on them, Jonas. But yeah, I'm not going to, but it's kind of like, because I'd never really thought about becoming a reptile breeder, and I've just had 3 clutches of Gillenite hatch and a clutch of Aki's hatch all within like 2 days. And as much as it's like shit, that's a lot of baby monitors. It's also like, this is very fun. And it's not even so much the money, because I've sold most of them to friends for cheap. So it's not like I make any money, but
that's the good thing as well. You've almost got, I don't want to call them clients, but you know what I mean? You've got a base of clients. They're not. They're friends and they're people that will buy from you. But that's the positive with the way you do things and what you've done. Like if you were to go into, I don't know, if you were to breed toe case, just for as an example, it's just the one that's come to mind.
It might be coming.
Well, yeah, you'd probably have enough people that know you and what you do that you could sell the babies before they're born. Which is good. Like I actually am planning on hopefully potentially breeding toe case. I'm just waiting on a potential male. Will I sell them? Potentially. We're getting traction with things like the gargoyles that we're selling. You know, it's looking good. There's more people that are messaging and shit like that, and it's good. And there might be people that are watching this that would have a Riddler's Reptiles toe case, which is cool. But then at the same time, I think there's no point in doing the things like royals, which you're not going to do, but you know what I mean? The royals.
No, I would only do species that I like. I would never do.
You wouldn't do it
dragons.
because it's an easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
You know, I actually did put a little clause in that contract. It was only a verbal one, but I said I won't get any more animals that need their own enclosure. A male tokay will go in with the female, so that doesn't count. As long as he's big enough, obviously.
So, on you wanting more though, do you purely think that's because you're in a group chat where everyone's saying, "Let's get this, let's get that," or because if that external influence wasn't there,
that definitely doesn't help. But even if I wasn't in that chat, I think I'd still be going, well, what can I get next? As long as I've got the room, because like I say, I've come a long way in my reptile keeping journey. So I know that I can't just get something and whack it in the bare minimum. I don't want the bare minimum anymore. I want to go above and beyond. I want to go naturalistic. I want to go, you know, as close to bioactive as I can. I want to make it incredible. Yeah. So there is that. But then I'm still here going, yeah, but that's a good idea. And then once I do that, I could move that there. I could do that. I could make this, that, blah, blah, blah.
What species is top of the list?
What, as in money, no objects?
No. A realistic.
Realistic.
Your missus has gone, right, Mr. Riddler. You can get another reptile. Imagine I call it you Mr. Riddler.
That would be fun.
You can get another reptile, but obviously it has to be within your means. It has to be realistic. What are you going for?
Pet only, I still would love a Brazilian rainbow boa. If we're talking the potential for a cool little breeding project, I do really like the idea of the garters and having a communal fucking family of garter snakes. Like, they are sick, really cool looking snakes. Obviously, they're, you know, diurnal. Is that what it is when they're actually
diurnal?
Diurnal.
Yeah.
They have little families and shit like that. Obviously, live bearers. Like, just even as pets, that would be sick. Yeah. But to have them breeding and getting little baby garters as well, I think would be class. And it's not a saturated market like royals as well. It's not like there's 40,000 garters on Morph Market right now. So it would be a little bit more fair and a bit more, not justified, but it's a bit better to do something like that than to be another one of these that just, yeah, basically. Hey, he's back in the light.
Back in the light. I found God, everybody.
Yeah.
You can no longer see my props. Sad times. Do you think that's because, correct me if I'm wrong, when you got into the reptile hobby, you were like, reptiles are cool. I can breed royals. I can make a bit of cash. Cushy.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're behind a curtain that you didn't really know existed. So now you're like almost green again. And you're going through these emotions that I would have went through 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's what it probably is?
Potentially. I mean, obviously there were the warning signs. And then when you hear other people's experiences about this exact thing, you do go, oh, shit, that sounds familiar. I mean, you've seen what a struggle it's been for me to sell these Royals. Luckily, 5 of them went the other week. But then the other part of me is like, right, make room, move them on, and then maybe try something else. Now, again, this isn't just me saying that because I want to make a quick buck. It's because I can potentially do it properly and I can enjoy it. Because the thing is, I'm not going to lie to you, when we got royal eggs, it was still a rush. Regardless of how bad it was for the hobby and how hard it was to move them on, it's still a rush getting snake eggs and having little babies pop out of eggs. It's sick.
Yeah. I think that'd be no matter what species.
It? No, but would I like to have that same rush again, but with a species that is more likely to go, be able to be sold and things like that? Yeah, quite possibly.
So you're looking
out, geese.
Appreciate you stopping and ravishing. Do you think because I was talking to someone about this recently. You're either a keeper or a breeder. Now, there are obviously grey areas like myself. I'm a keeper, but I breed. But then that makes me a breeder. And I have more inklings to breed. Otherwise, I would... Because I know people that just keep as pets and they don't breed at all. Of course.
Well, to be fair, that's me at the moment. I just keep as pets at the moment.
Yeah, so obviously, there's far ends of the spectrum. There are people that have one leopard gecko and that's it.
Yeah.
There are people that have Canadian cold blood. He's got fucking thousands of monitors, geckos, and they're a breeder.
Yeah.
And then obviously everyone else falls somewhere in between. And then you have a middle line. And obviously people that breed but mainly keep can be on the side of keeper, obviously.
Yeah.
But the brain will be one more way inclined. And I think my brain at the minute, which has changed, I think I'm starting to tilt towards more being a breeder than a keeper.
Yeah.
But I don't want to sacrifice to become a breeder.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not going to reduce space and I'm not going to reduce it. I'm still going to be almost, if we're going to define it as a keeper at heart, but my intentions as I move forward are to breed.
Yeah.
Do you think, because you started as a breeder, you became a keeper, and now you're probably going, I don't really want to be a keeper. And when I say keeper, I'm saying it loosely, because if you're thinking and focusing on breeding, then in my mind, you're a breeder. And again, I'm classing myself as a breeder.
Yeah. For me at the minute, I would class myself as more of just a keeper, because I'm enjoying getting these different species for me so that I can see their different behaviors. I can see their different, what they do, how they behave and things like that. But I'd also be lying if I said I hadn't thought about breeding something. So, for example, the tokays, that's on my mind. I've already potentially got a potential male lined up at some point soon. So it's on my mind, but I would say I'm predominantly a keeper with maybe an interest in breeding.
Yeah.
But then I don't see a problem with being a keeper that, like yourself, for example, you've got these animals that you're keeping in. And just a quick one whilst you're here. Kratos,
I've changed my set.
Kratos, God of War.
Hang on. Hang on. The Rack Reaper.
The Rack Reaper. Who's got the best costume?
Riddler Reptiles. Ben's Balls. This is Riddler in my shadow. Souls of lost rack keepers.
I've shaved my head.
Not just for this.
Who's going to
shave it anyway?
Man? Go on, let's.
This is obviously someone you know.
No. Yeah, I do. Yeah, but to be fair though, he's on your link, the bastard.
Yeah, boy. Riddler Reptiles. Yeah, boy.
I did enjoy your story earlier on where you had the Riddler hat on. That was good.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. What was I saying?
You're
Shit,
saying
I've completely lost
you're
what I was
saying you
saying.
were going to be a keeper,
Oh yeah,
wanting to
yeah.
breed, and
So
you didn't have an issue with keeping like I keep. Because
yeah.
you're in my goddamn shadow.
when it comes to breeding, I think there's nothing wrong with it, but the animal has to not be in a place where it's detrimental to its health, basically.
Yeah.
It's human nature, I think, to want to get animals to breed. Like, I'm sure most people at some point in their lives have gone, maybe we'll just do one, one. I'll get my dog to breed once and have puppies once.
He followed the link and he ended up on my page. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's a bit rude, that, to be fair, but he must have followed the first story as opposed to the second one.
Appreciate you, Brad.
Appreciate you, Brad. Thanks, mate. But yeah, what was I saying?
Something about keeping, not detrimenting the animals.
Yeah. So when people say, I don't think it's a bad thing to say that you want to breed as long as you're going to do it properly. Don't play. Ken, I thought you were going to do a couple of royal clutches, or have you changed your mind? I could be talking absolute shit. I thought you were going to do a couple of royal clutches.
Yeah, my brain right now is because I wanted to just be like pets. I wanted just pets, and obviously I still want pets. Like I'm not gonna change and be like, oh, you're a number. You know, like my Ackies breed, but they're my pets. I had them out today trick or treating. You know, like, and the kids were coming to the house and they're like, oh yeah, this is the house with the lizard. This is the lizard house. Like, yeah, oh yeah, say trick when he says trick or treat. Say trick and he'll show you the lizard. You know, and a few kids had remembered and come back and like they're my pets. You know, and they breed. And I'm kind of realizing I'm slowly shifting into smaller species because I'm learning. I'm not picking between you, but shaving the head goes that extra mile. Yeah, I'm finding that with your keeping your own hobby, you have to enjoy your own hobby. And what I enjoy, a key element of my enjoyment is bigger enclosures.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the size of the animal, it's just a big enclosure for X animal.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's harder to do for the bigger species.
Yeah, of course.
And I enjoy keeping animals around chest height and up. Animals that are on the floor, I tend to not really interact with.
Mm-hmm.
And even in 3-foot tall vivs, I tend to just, so I need a kind of room like Matt Cosman. He has like everything elevated and it's just all one level. That for me would be my personal preference, because if it's too high or if it's too low, I don't see it as much. So I'm learning what I like as a keeper, regardless of the species. It's just how I keep and what I enjoy, how I keep it.
Yeah.
So I just need to lean into that. And it's okay. The problem we have, mate, to be completely honest with you, and I came to this conclusion recently, it's an obvious conclusion. We're just normal blokes going through the motions like everybody does. But the problem is we put it online.
Yeah.
And we're up for scrutiny. We're up for, because for example, there was a time where I wanted to rehome Bumpy. And everyone was like, no, don't rehome Bumpy, don't rehome Bumpy. And then I felt like I couldn't because of the followers, which is the truth.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I'm kind of falling back in love with Bumpy. But I'll be completely honest, my brain is going, she takes up a lot of space.
Yeah.
And that's not an excuse.
Yeah.
And and again, it's this whole thing of like, oh, I really love her. I'm not going to sit here and say that I really love her, because if I'm contemplating rehoming her, I clearly don't love her that much. That's the fact of the matter. I don't want to beat around a bush.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to rehome her. But then I also want the space that she takes up for other stuff. And that's the truth.
What's your mind like with looking at the future? So, because this is one of the things we were discussing, was when it comes to monetization and making a living out of YouTube or potentially breeding or Patreon or things like that. Do you ever look at the likes of Bumpy and think, At the minute, she's taking up a lot of space that I could be using for something else. However, if I make it on here and I'm earning X amount of money and I can get a bigger place with more room, then in 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time, I can put her in her own little corner where I'm not resentful that she's taking it up. Or do you not look almost that far ahead, or no? Did you just hear a ghost?
I don't know what I heard. I've got noise cancelling headphones on, but something just happened.
Did you fart?
No.
No.
Was that you? Don't know. Something's going on. No, I don't think about it like that, mate. I'm a very present person. You know, I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years.
Yeah.
I could be in an amazing position. I could be homeless.
Yeah.
So I don't think about it. And the problem I have is I think to the future in regards to projects. So I'll be like, I want to breed mangroves, I want to breed peach throats. Currently, right now, I don't have the space to do that. So then that's why Bumpy's on the chopping block.
Yeah.
It's not that I want Bumpy to go. It's that I know right now I don't have space, and I don't believe in buying an animal that you don't have space for in 5 years. I think that's fucking ludicrous if you do that.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're going to be in 5 years.
Yeah.
I've done it, and I will continue to do it, but I am aware that it's ludicrous. So if I buy another peach throat, I can't house it how I want to house it in 4 years' time, where I currently am, unless I make cutbacks.
To be fair, that's one credit I will give to myself, because obviously the potential for these rudicolis came up. And I was like, well, I could do it in the meantime, 4x2x2, couple of juveniles, get them in there. But then I think to myself, they're going to get bigger. And if I haven't got the room in 2 years' time, or a year's time, really, then what? Like, it hurts me, because even at the minute, I'm seeing people, that I've seen a couple of posts recently where people have got baby Rudies, juvenile Rudies. And I'm like, fuck, maybe I should have got a couple of baby Rudies. But then I think about it and I'm like, but I've got Ragnar. And if I can't house these adults in a year or two's time, especially with my recent news as well, then what? What do I do then? I am, Ben. Look, I've shaved it. That's legit. You see what I'm saying? So part of me,
I know exactly, yeah, and I'm with the same with the mangroves.
Part of me, I say I should have got another Rudy or two, and then the other part of me is like, no, you made the right choice, because how do you know you're going to be able to house 1 or 2 or 3 more adult Rudies in 2 years' time? You don't know that.
The problem I have is join Patreon to find out what I have in the incubator. If that hatches, I'm keeping it forever.
Yeah.
And then I have a couple of mangroves here that, like Spec, the little special one that I have. And I say special as in it looks different, not it's retarded. That's politically incorrect of me. I'm sorry. Handicap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't say that anymore, mate. Well,
No.
times have changed.
Them woke snowflakes.
For people listening, I am joking. Anyway, that animal's going nowhere. You can tell I've had no sleep. I'm not politically correct anymore. Don't mind saying cunt on the internet, but I don't.
It's taken just over 2 hours, but yeah, the C-bomb has now been dropped. So that's right.
Yeah, it's late, so it's fine. Unless you're in America, then. Anyway, so I have a lot. And like Toad, I had Toad out the other day when Ben came over. Ben's balls came over, and I got Toad out, and I was holding Toad, and she was sat on my shoulder, and I got a piece of chick, and I offered it to her, and she took it from my fucking hand.
Yeah.
On my shoulder, like a bloody parrot.
Yeah.
And she's never done that before, and I was so in love with that moment.
Yeah.
And I had Kermit out.
Yeah.
I was showing him off, and Kermit stood up on his back legs, and he was like this, like snatching at the food. And I was like, he's never done that. Like, I didn't even get it on film. He's never. and how almost having someone over to enjoy my collection. You'll experience this because spoiler, everyone's still listening. Thank you. I'm going to Riddler's soon, and we're going to do a bit of collab and bits and bobs. But you showing me all of your stuff because you're going to be so proud to show me everything because we're mates.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, I'm telling you this now. Pay attention to it. You'll fall back in love with your room like you never have done. Like I love my room. After Ben left, I was like, yeah, do you know what? I really have cool stuff. Because someone else is going, oh, yeah, this is really sick. And it almost takes that kick up the arse to be like, oh, fucking hell, I am lucky. You know?
Well, you saw that video the other day of me picking up Ragnar. Like, I watched that video 8, 9, 10 times that night. I was just chilling. Every now and again, I'd just get my phone back out and just go, fuck, that was sick. Like the wild court monitor, I'm picking her up and she's just chilled. She's just chilled and it is sick. Like, again, just that small little moment made me fall in love with this animal all over again. Do you know what I mean? It's just those little moments, like you with Toad eating from your hand, you with, Kermit, things like that. It's just these little things that really, in actual fact, another one, when I came downstairs and the Royal was climbing on those logs in a 4-foot Viv, fell in love with that all over again. And it's just these little things that really make you remember why you got into it. Do we want to breed and make little babies with, and potentially sell and make a profit? Yeah, maybe we do. Does that mean we're in it just for profit? Absolutely not.
My brain's always in these two places. Like, I can't pick between my animals. So let's just say I had Kermit and Kada in a massive enclosure, like an 8x4x8. I had Toad in an 8x4x8, and I have Mango in a 8x4x8, which I can have in my room. I could generally have those 3 enclosures in my room and then just have that. And then I have little gaps where I can put in like little geckos and stuff. And would I be happier? And again, like the start of this conversation, the answer is you just don't know because I've not done it. It doesn't exist. It's just in my head. And obviously the grass is always greener. But yeah, I don't know where I want to be in 5 years at the minute, which is kind of scary because these are animals we're dealing with. But I think for me, I'm starting to like the idea of maybe becoming a bit of a breeder. Not full whole scale, but like use the Gillenite to get me some more stuff. And then use that to get me some more stuff and use that to get
you know what? I very much think there's a bit of a stigma behind the word breeder.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like, you could do it in the most beautiful, the biggest enclosures. But sometimes with some people who say, oh, yeah, I breed reptiles, immediately they're going to go, what a prick.
Yeah.
Without even seeing your setups, they're going to go, wow, what a prick. You're in it for the money then. Not necessarily. I think that's where a lot of the problems lie, is there is a stigma behind it, but you can do it properly. You can do it for the love of it. And you can do it to, fuel your passion as well. That's something that's the way I'm looking at it as well, to be fair. What the fuck are you doing? Sorry.
It's a ghost.
No, it's a snake.
Would you say profit and personal gain are the same thing when it comes to outform breeding?
It's a tough question.
It depends what you do with the profit. Like right now, currently, all the money I've made from Gil and I have gone back into either new reptiles or new stuff for reptiles. Because I've traded most of them, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, because to be fair, it's not a profit, but whatever I'm making from the sales of these snakes, for example, it's either going in savings for the future, but then whatever I'm keeping for myself is going on UV units. It's going on stuff for the current reptiles.
Yeah, see, I'm generally thinking about becoming it again. This is not going to be a smooth transition because I don't have the financial resources. But I'm thinking about becoming like a breeder to breed for profit.
Yeah.
And that would be my
I
job.
don't see anything wrong with that because of your ethics and your morality with the animals. I'd back you 100% on that. You know,
I think it helps that I have a following,
breed.
and I've already based it around that though. Like if you would, like you say, if you were Joe Blogs off the street and you're like, yeah, I'm going to breed reptiles, and if I had no followers to my name, people would judge you because they don't know what you're about, and people are going to judge me. People judge me anyway. People have judged me in this conversation because saying I believe in fucking souls. You know, I can't please everybody, but I can keep reptiles well. So yeah.
And then the babies speak for themselves as well. These healthy little babies that come out, jobs are good.
Yeah. All my babies are raised under halogens, LEDs, UVB in what they would expect in the wild enclosures. Like my animals don't see fucking newspaper or paper towels. Well, that's
see, this is the thing. This is why I wouldn't have a problem with breeding tokays, because I've got a tokay that's this big in, I guess, what is it? A 2x4x2? Is that how you'd say that one? Because I usually say 4x2x2 that's upright, but it's in the right.
No, it's length, depth, height.
Oh, so 2x2x4 then, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy sticking a male in with her and breeding like that, because I'd almost just let them get on with it as well.
Yeah.
It's like you're just letting them naturally do what they do in the wild, and I'm happy with that. Similar for the garters. I'd be happy to just have a 1.2 in there. Just let them get on with it. One day I'll come home to loads of little baby noodles running, slithering around the enclosure, and that'd be sick.
Split them all out, raise them up all together, sell them.
Yeah, and I don't see a problem with that as long as they're being kept properly. If I've got a 4x2x3 fully bioactive garter snake set up with a pond, overhead heat, LEDs, halogens, UVB, I would be fully happy with that. I would not be upset with that at all.
No. I don't care if I make a penny from breeding, but I would like to advance my own hobby, new animals, equipment, etc., on my own life. So the problem I have at the minute, right? But would you say that profit either way? But would you? But would? Or maybe that's wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe would.
But would you say that's profit either way, even if it's not monetary? No, I don't think I would.
No, it is profit. It's profit. It is profit. Of course it is. Regardless of what you're doing with it, profit's profit. Like if you look at it from a business standpoint, it doesn't matter if you put 100% of the profit back into the business, it's still profit.
Yeah.
So if you've spent $1,000 to get the babies and the babies then make you $1,000, you have zero profit. If you spent 500 quid and the babies make you 1,500 quid, you have £1,000 profit. If you put the £1,000 back into the animals, you still had £1,000 profit.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you do with it. Profit's profit. I'm making profit off the Gillenite. Of course I am. Like it'd be stupid to say that I'm not.
Yeah.
Like I'm probably about even now, and everything I sell from these second clutches will be profit. That's fine. I make profit when I go to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And regardless of what I do with that money, it's my money. I work fucking hard to breed these reptiles and care for them the way that I do. So,
well,
I do it.
As you know, my plan for the next 5 years, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I want to be off of the tools in the next 5 years. Yeah. That's my hope. That's my dream. That's what I'm working towards at the minute.
Mine's next year. 29th of August, I'm quitting electrics.
Nice.
If not before, but the 29th of August, I'm quitting electrics, the day before my 30th birthday. So the 30th of August, I turn 30 and I'll be no longer an electrician. And if I'm jobless, then I'm jobless, but I'm quitting. And I'm too stubborn to not quit.
Yeah.
So if I haven't quit before then I'm quitting by then.
Yeah.
And I'll be a fucking postman for all I give a shit.
Mate.
I wear shorts, so
it's wear shorts all year round. Yeah. You know your little block.
I feel kind of dirty that I'm wearing like a bit of a dress at the minute, not wearing shorts. I may or may not be naked underneath.
I haven't got my slippers on.
I haven't got Crocs on, to be fair.
Sorry, slipper gang. That's a lot of tokays. It is a lot of tokays, especially normal morphs, like no morphs as well.
I won't be making nowhere near enough money
No.
by the 29th of August next year to rely on animals for
Yeah.
my outcome. And then obviously the gill line might not even reproduce next year.
Mm.
It's what it is. They're animals. You can't bank on it.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't.
And I guess if you've got all those different species that potentially breed at different times of the year or under different circumstances, some more so than others, some might lay once a year, some might lay once a month.
Yeah, and the market goes up and down. You know,
Oh yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
things sell,
Definitely.
sometimes things don't sell.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I want to be. I feel really good that I've taken a step back from YouTube. I feel like that's a very good decision from me to free up a
Yeah.
lot more time. You know, like
I'm driving mine as much as I can at the minute. But the thing is, that's not out of a selfish standpoint. I really enjoy it as well.
I do, but I just don't like today. Like yesterday, when you said to me you've got a video, like I've filmed quite a lot over the last few days. I could definitely get a video together by Thursday.
Yeah.
But I had this tonight. This has taken up however many hours of my life. Tomorrow, I would have had to. I haven't seen my animals, so I'm like, no, I'm going to see Fee and see my animals. I'm not going to make a fucking YouTube video.
Yeah.
It'll be out next week.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, because I was thinking similar. I was like, right, I knew obviously yesterday I had a double shift to do. I knew today we had this. I was like, Thursday I want to put a video out. Obviously, me and Liam are trying to sort out a Q&A. I was like, shall I do that on Wednesday or Friday? But then you're thinking that's 2, 3, 4 days in a row of doing stuff online. Now, I wouldn't mind it, but at the same time, I'm like, well, what's the rush? You know what I mean? I've already got a video ready. I put on my Patreon. Everyone's seen the Cypress herping video early doors. All I'm going to do is change that from unlisted to premiere on Thursday. Jobs are good.
Yeah.
You know. But then next week, maybe there's going to be a YouTube Thursday with both of us. Who knows? I'll speak to Liam, see if he wants to do a Q&A next week, and just take it from there, basically. But yeah,
my video next week won't be ours. It'll be the video I've been filming this week, and then probably the week after will be the one that I film at yours, if I even film at yours.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. See, luckily at the minute I've got a few on the back burner. You know.
Yeah, I just don't. Even my Instagram content, the last 3 or 4 days, I've just been using my drafts, and my drafts aren't my best. They're just videos I have. You know, and I just can't be fucked. I just can't be fucked with anything. You know? I'm not losing my passion for it. It's just like I only have so much time in the day.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm very lucky in that instance that you've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mate, I literally, when I say to people like how busy I am, I don't think people realize generally like how busy I am. Again, it's all self-indulged. I'm not complaining. Like, I do it myself. But I don't think people realize like how hard it is to like succeed on social media.
Oh, mate, madness.
Like, not that I've succeeded, but I'm doing all right on Instagram. But with great power comes great responsibility, and I get messages galore, and I get comments galore, and you get hate galore, and then you got to keep a profile, and you have to be yourself, and then blah 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 blah. You have to post every day, and it's like, again, I don't mind it, but it does kind of take away from your hobby, and it takes away time from your hobby. And I'd stand by it. I was so much happier when I was a nobody keeping my lizards. You know, I'm glad that I've met all you boys that I've met in the little group chats and stuff. I'm very glad of that. I'm glad of other friends that I've made that aren't in the group chats, but I speak to regularly on Instagram. I'm very, I offered to help with messaging. Yeah, Fee said, do you want me to be my PA? she replied to a couple of people, and I was like, you're not doing it again. But yeah. Do you think you'll run out of content, Riddler, in the next few years after everything is done, upgrading, and you don't buy any new animals?
I don't think so, because with them being living animals and things like that, I don't think you'll ever run out of content because they're always doing something. You know, even if it's once a year you do a feeding all my animals or a reptile room tour, or this animal got a new halogen, well, maybe not a new halogen, that's a shit video, but I think there's always something going on with them because they are living things. There's always something happening. So will it maybe slow down? Potentially, because a lot of what I do at the minute is upgrades, new builds, new animals, shit like that. Now, when I'm just upgrading and everyone's in their new enclosures, will I get to the point where I go, now what? But then I've been in that position a couple of times where I've gone, shit, what am I going to be filming soon? And then all of a sudden, I've got 3 videos on the back burner because 3 different things has happened. You know, Ragnar laid an infertile egg, and at that point, I had no videos ready to go. So I think there's always something going on. Will it make it harder? Yeah, potentially. But then at the same time, I don't want to get new animals purely for social media. Like, they help. Don't get me wrong. Everyone currently loves King Dobby, but I didn't get that animal because it would help social media. I got that animal because I love that animal. So, yeah.
I think the problem, Nameless, is my problems that I share online are like 10% of my problems. My problems are all up here. This shit can all go away. I couldn't give a fuck about this sort of shit. You know, it's the constant battle of trying not to kill myself every day from external influences that I have to personally worry about. But the problem I have is I set out to help people, and which I do help people, but people are incredibly cruel. And I don't need to be berated and dragged through mud and give my time to have it thrown back in my face. I don't need to do that. And I choose to do it for free to help people. And sometimes it's very much like, what's the fucking point? And people don't see that unless they get to where I am, which is completely fine because I didn't see it until I got to where I am. And sometimes you just think to yourself, like, and it's very easy to look at my life and be like, oh, wow, 40,000 followers, cool lizards, supportive girlfriend, good job. It's social media. What do you expect?
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody in this space other than maybe Brian Barczyk who's as open about their life as I am. You know, I fucking share a lot of shit and I be as authentic as I fucking can. And it's not easy to go on the podcast and relive the experience I had when I tried to kill myself.
Yeah.
To try and help people. So I wouldn't say that my problems are nice. I would say that I'm someone that's getting very tired of being... I don't want to say undervalued because I have a lot of supporters and I'm very grateful for everybody. I don't want to look at what I don't have. Sorry, I don't want to look at... Yeah, I don't want to look at what I do have and almost forget it because 89% of it is amazing. But it's the 10% might as well be 100%, and I don't need it. I don't want it, and I don't need it. And I could help a million people. One person being nasty to me really ruins my day. Like, really ruins my day.
Yeah.
Why the fuck am I doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the internet. Yeah, okay, get used to it. I don't have to. I can just fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need any of this shit. I want it, and that's why I'm still here doing it.
Yeah.
But there's a big difference between needing and wanting something. And I just got to the place now, mate, where I just tired, you know. Just gets me to a place where I'm just like, I can't be fucked anymore. So this is Michael's problem now.
What have I got at the minute? I've got magic potions, panda kings, yellow zebras, and shiro tsuris. Oh, and what are they? Orange powder oranges? Is that what they're called?
Porcellia levis.
Yeah, fuck knows. But to be fair, the majority of them are in enclosures anyway. So, and if they breed, they breed basically.
I've not done. I got out of the isopods because I didn't like keeping them in boxes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Although Mike made a good point there, you can always redo enclosures for enrichment. Yeah, there's that as well. Even though their enclosures might be built and done, there might be one day that I go, you know what, that enclosure could be better. There you go. It's better for the animal. It's another video. Jobs are good.
should probably be doing that. All of us should probably be doing that every 6 months, having
Yeah.
a rearrange anyway.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. I think because we're working with animals, it's never going to end. There's not going to ever be a point where everything's done. There's always something to do.
Yeah, I mean, I could very easily just vlog like I did. You know, I reckon I could vlog every day. I should have brought the stickers up. The stickers.
Oh no, that will do. We'll do it. Yeah.
But yeah, I could probably vlog every day. Just because I'm always in my reptile room for hours every day. Just have no drive to.
It's fair enough.
I think if I had someone to film me, all jokes aside, I reckon if I had someone to film me, I would do a lot more.
See, that's always good because you can bounce off of someone. That's why I quite like doing videos where me and Jacob do them together. That's why when you come down soon, I think that's going to be sick because there's someone that I can bounce off of, as opposed to me just doing this. You know what I mean? There's only so much I can do and say, whereas when you're with someone, it makes it that much better.
Yeah, because Will's recently got a cameraman.
Yeah.
I think having a cameraman would and just film what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think it would be so much easier. But then it's just like anything, you got to pay someone to do that, and I don't make any fucking money, so you got to put more of your money into it, and it comes back to that whole profit and loss thing, and it's just you think to yourself like, to make it, you really have to you got to be really good, you know, because even though reptiles are a very niche thing, it's a very saturated.
Oh mate, I've said before, anyone with a beardy and a phone can make a reptile channel. You've just got to be filtered out of those. You know, out of all of those, to be seen and become something bigger.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's not. It's not easy.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. I don't get paid for filming you. You don't get paid for filming me, no.
Well, it's like, because to be fair, it is very much an investment. Like, I pay for StreamYard. It's like 30 quid a month or something. I'm not monetized on YouTube yet.
No.
That's 30 quid a month gone.
You're never ever going to see again.
You know what I mean? There's no return apart from obviously having a good streaming service. That's it. You know, what else? My editing software, that's probably 15, 20 quid a month as well. Already you're adding up on all of these softwares and things like that for something that's got no current return.
We have the Canadians in the house. What's up,
hey,
boys?
What's going on?
How are we doing? Yeah, obviously I am now monetized, but I was in the same boat, mate. I invested in StreamYard and different bits before monetization, and you have to have like really good self-belief, and that's something you have. To be fair, you have a lot more than me. And it is in a way like manifestation. You're like, I'm gonna do it. Obviously, you can't just put a sat nav on, put the postcode in or the zip code in, and your car magically gets you there. You have to have a heading, but then you physically have to drive. So yeah. Paul's screenshot. Paul's got snakes and rubs. You best believe I do. Paul's demoted his set. He's had enough. Yeah, I just don't have the same drive that you do in the sense of, I don't mean this nastily, but let's just call it delusion. Like in my head, I'm like, if I make it, I make it. Whereas you're like, I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the better mindset to have. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my head, whether it's 2 years' time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, at some point, I will hopefully be at the stage I want to be and potentially have this be my full time. Or not the podcast as such, like this is nice, but as in like
just your social,
reptile
your brand,
content creation or keeping reptiles or things like that. I truly believe I can make something of it.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not under the delusions that it's going to be easy and that all I need to do is whack a YouTube video up once a week and then I'll be a millionaire in a couple of years. But if I keep on the path I'm on and keep pushing the way I am, I can't see why not.
Yeah. And I feel the same. I think I see social differently. I think for me it's the whereas you're probably more entertaining. Keep an eye for the rebrand, but you're probably more entertaining, whereas I am helping. I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
So when I make a content video that's a filler video, whereas much I'm sure some people would be like, oh wow, Paul, love your lizards. Oh wow. Whereas I feel like my purpose isn't fulfilled in that video.
Yeah.
And I almost don't care for it. Whereas I can put value and stuff into Instagram posts. And I think that's why my Instagram has been successful, because I get across more of me on Instagram than I do on YouTube. And that's why I'm going to start not giving a shit on YouTube and just do what the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Regardless of its value or not, because I always end up beating myself up if I've not gone in a certain direction. But now I'm just going to make a video, and if it's shit, it's shit. If it's great, it's great. And I'm going to just try and, again, just take the pressure away from myself and just do it for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, like saying to you yesterday, I'm not going to do a video this week, felt fucking great.
Yeah.
Just felt great. Because it's just so much stress and pressure just to be like, fucking hell, I have to, when can I free up this time? And, you know, I'm trying. I don't tell her enough, but I feel really bad for Fee because I'm never present. And what for? Like, I'm so lucky with her in the sense of her supporting everything I do. And then I just don't see her and reward her for her presence. You know, and I just, that kind of stuff. It's that whole question of money and time, you know what I mean? Like, so when it good having all this and, oh, Paul, your problems aren't bad and shit. And it's like, I'm doing all of this for strangers, and the person that supports me most is fucking downstairs right now, and I've barely seen her. You know what I mean? And that really gets to me, to be honest.
Yeah. But then I guess if that's a dynamic that you're both happy with.
I don't think we're both happy with it. That's the problem.
Oh, right.
I think it's, she knows that I want to do this.
Yeah.
So supports me. But then I know that she wants me, like my time. And I don't give it to her because I'm trying to do this. So I think we both just kind of accept it. I don't think there's, don't get me wrong, there's always a middle ground in everything in life.
Yeah.
But it does get in my head. Like, for example, I don't know what shift she's working tomorrow, to be fair, but I'm hoping to actually spend an evening with her tomorrow. But if I said to you, yes, I'd do a video, then I'm not spending an evening with her. But yeah, I still talk to, all we talk about is fucking lizards. That's it. Like, people that know me know that I live and breathe reptiles.
Yeah.
That's all there is with me. It's not just a little hobby. It is innately in me. And I just need to be more present at times and not on this fucking thing all the time, replying to people asking how to care for an Aki.
Yeah.
I need to try and limit the social side. I'm not saying necessarily the reptiles, because Fee interacts with the reptiles. I'm on about the social side. I need to start doing reptiles, Fee, socials, not socials, reptiles, Fee.
Yeah.
Because that's how it is at the minute. The socials come before everything, and they shouldn't. And I need to, I mean, we were talking about fucking lizards, and here we are, but I need to just start remembering that the socials, the problem is, mate, to make it, you have to put it before everything else.
Yeah.
New phone case, everybody. Look at this. Boom.
Nice.
But yeah, you probably know yourself. You're fortunate because you can do it during the day. I don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
Like, for me to do social media, it has to be in time that I would otherwise dedicate to my reptiles or Fee. So social media takes away time from my reptiles and my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because I want to succeed at social media, and that's why I've put everything on the back burner.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
But then there's that, because that's the thing. It's that whole thing of, if I sacrifice the time now, I'll have more of it when I'm successful in the future. But that success isn't guaranteed.
you thought about getting into animal education encounters, Riddler. You've got enough knowledge and info to entertain some 5-year-olds.
Yes. But the only concern with that is that even though I'm not that busy at work, when I'm at work, I'm very, very busy when I'm at home. And we've got a mortgage, we've got a little one, we've got a second one on the way. I'd need to be earning a certain amount for me to be comfortable with things like that. And obviously you could say, could you do it, when you're not at work? Well, that's the problem. This is your age-old problem. When I'm at home, I've got animals to look after. I've got, like I say, I've got a missus, I've got a child, things like that. So it's definitely easier said than done. Yes, thank you, Fee. Yeah. Yes, we have baby number 2 on the way, by the way, everyone.
Exclusive.
Exclusive, yeah. Not even the Patreons know about that.
Still sign up, please.
Yeah, because the 2 kids is very expensive. It's going to be very expensive. But this is what I mean. So would I like to do things like that? Yes. But I don't know. I don't know how feasible it would be. I don't know if there's the business for that down here. Cheers, mate. I don't know. It would be too risky. I've got too much to lose at the moment.
And then, there's me just going to quit my job.
Yeah. But then, like I say, the thing is, thank you, we are in very different situations as such.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the worst? What's the first worst pet in existence?
You'd know if you were a Clint fan.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a Clint fan.
I know.
Mike, I'm assuming I'll see you over there soon.
Yeah, it is hard, mate, because again, it's that whole behind the curtain thing. People don't realize how much time, energy, money, effort go into it, and neither one of us are quote unquote successful. You can say we're on the up or whatever, but we're not the fucking, I don't fucking know, Snake Discoveries or Serpa Designs. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of sacrifice, and I just don't have enough hours in the day.
Yeah.
I just don't. And I don't sleep, and I'm fucking always up doing stuff. And, like doing this podcast for nearly 3 hours, that's 3 hours I could have been doing reptile stuff.
Yeah.
So now I've got to catch up because I have to do stuff every day.
If I had less to lose, would I be happier to risk it? Yeah, quite possibly. But at the minute, I've got too much. Financially, I need this job because I'm guaranteed a certain wage every single month without fail. And I need it. If I was not even single, if me and Em were just together, we weren't married, we didn't have a mortgage, we didn't have a kid, again, you could risk it a bit more then. But at the minute, could I go into animal education and entertainment, showing off, parties and kiddie stuff? Potentially, but it wouldn't be enough straight away. It could potentially in the future, but straight away it wouldn't be able to do so.
Thing is with it though, like I have just as much to risk as you for quitting my job.
Yeah.
Like doesn't matter if I have a mortgage or not, I can still lose my house.
You've still got rent to pay at the end of the day.
I still have animals to feed. I still have a missus, So I don't think anyone is in any better or worse position. I get what you say. Like some people that live at home, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
As soon as you're in the real world, you can't.
Yeah.
I haven't read them, but I was contemplating doing like a pet sitting business. Because I can't go on holiday because no one to look after my reptiles.
Mm.
But then if there was somebody that could come in, genuinely care for the animals that I had whilst I was away, because like you get some people to come over and let your dogs out, let your cats out. So why can't you get someone to come over to check on your bearded dragon or check on your? And pretty much no reptile that I couldn't deal with.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
not
very
qualified.
lucky that we've got Rosie and Jacob 20 minutes up the road. So if we go away, they come and look after ours. If they go away, we go and look after theirs. So that's all right. But I know what you're saying. Without them, we'd be buggered.
My mum pops in, but like
Mm.
if Mango's lights pop, I just
Yeah.
tell her to leave Mango, don't go in there.
Yeah.
Then that leaves Mango with no heat,
Mm.
and that leaves me on a stressful holiday.
Yeah.
So I was contemplating just doing like a pet, but like all pets, not just reptiles, like everything.
Yeah.
But to start any business, you need money,
Yeah.
and I have no money, and I need X amount of money every month, otherwise we lose everything.
Yeah.
I'm still quitting my job,
Yeah.
which is a stupid decision, but I'm doing it. And then I'll just go and find a job. I'll go and fucking stack shelves. Like, it doesn't make a difference to me.
Mm.
My job doesn't. My being an electrician is the only thing left from my new life, my old life that's in my new life, and I just need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's going. That's it.
Fact.
Right, what are people saying?
Facts. Yeah, that wouldn't tickle though, would it? More facts. More. It's got a shine on it, isn't it? Right, I think we should start wrapping up.
Yeah, man, I agree. I need to loo.
Yeah, I need to go to bed. I need to wash all this paint off of me and then go to bed. Has anyone got anything they want to add? Anything they want to ask before we make a move?
Make a move, not on each other.
Not on each other, no.
Maybe one day.
Well, you are coming to see me soon.
You're going to be shirtless.
Probably.
Nice.
How many have we got in chat at the moment?
Huh?
How many have we got in chat at the moment?
16.
Not bad. Considering we've been going for nearly 3 hours and it's 11:15 where we are, that's not bad at all.
No, we had 31 at one point.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
As soon as we started talking about ghosts, it dipped to like 16. Yeah.
Just go to bed with the paint on. Imagine the missus waking up in the morning to see that. I ate too much candy. I count as 3.
Oh, I mean, we didn't get last people to vote, but what are the final scores? Is it a tie?
It is a tie. It's 15 all.
Yeah.
Fair. Do you know what, though? I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And tomorrow's
I'll
reel,
agree.
Tomorrow's reel is going to be my transition from hairy man to Kratos, so that's going to be a good one.
I think.
Shit. Oh, shit.
I kind of need to explain it, but I just can't be bothered.
Canada Varanids, please place your vote.
So, I am the Rack Grim Reaper. My set was red. I have a jar that has lost Rack Keeper souls.
You're tired, aren't you?
I can't be bothered anymore. I have Ben's Balls and Riddler Reptiles racks because I've reaped them because they've stopped keeping in racks because of me. And then I have Riddler in my shadow. Ha ha ha.
And I'm Kratos from God of War. So who's got the best costume? Serpentine, 4 a.m. gang, you're a mental case. Thank you so much for joining us and watching. You're a legend.
I'm glad you enjoyed Serpentine. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. I hope you are well.
Yes, likewise. So, Canada Varanids, by the looks of things, you've got the final vote.
You all lost me about an hour and a half ago, I'll be honest. I've had about 8 hours sleep in the last 3.5 days.
Yeah.
To
be fair,
fucked.
Yeah, so I'm, like I say, after that double shift, I'm feeling like shit as well. But
yeah,
I don't know if he's still thinking.
I did have red lights as well, and all of these glow red, but I can't give a fuck anymore. Honestly. Oh, there's a. Hang on, this might sway it. There's a scythe.
Hey.
Fucking shit.
Well, whilst we're waiting for the deciding vote, let's just thank everyone for joining. It has been once again an absolute pleasure. It has once again been a fucking laugh, which we knew it was going to be anyway.
Who knows what's going to be in the next episode?
Do you know what? After, oh fuck!
Fuck you, Kratos!
No. But if he didn't crack a smile, he would have lost. I am. Do you know what? I was about to thank everyone for coming, but you can all fuck off now.
Roles have been reversed.
Fuck! Oh, that's wounding. But for realism, Kratos takes the cake. Oh, should we just call it a tie?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's easy to say when you're the loser, isn't it? But no. In all honesty, I mean, after every episode, I wonder how we're going to top the next one, and this one is no different. Obviously, we'll sort something out for the next 2 weeks or so. But yeah, everyone, it's been a pleasure. As you can see, me and Paul are fucked. So we're going to love you all and leave you all. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining.
Leave a like, comment, subscribe.
Subscribe. Please feel free to join either or both of our Patreons for a small fee of £2 up to £50 a month, up to your discretion. Merch coming soon. That aside. Oh, and stickers as well. We're doing stickers, aren't we?
Ain't we?
Yeah.
Ain't we? We is.
But otherwise, ladies and gents, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining. Peace out.
What's the forfeit? I'm not ending the stream. What's the forfeit?
It was the whole whoever loses has to say that the other one's monitor is better than theirs.
All right, chat. Technically, I won.
Technically, you won.
So, before we end this right now, does Riddler have to do the forfeit, yes or no? Because I'm happy to call it a draw, because if I'm honest, I'm not ego-driven enough to be like, ha, 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 ha. I would have been about 2 hours ago.
I was about to say, usually you're very competitive, but I think you're too...
I'm done, mate. I'm done.
I'm
Not right now. I'd
draw.
lose.
All right. Win wins all. Draw. Tiebreaker. Eat a roach. I'm not eating a roach.
I'll eat a roach for a 10. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Right. Let's end it.
Right. I'm actually going to end the podcast now, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
Love you all. Thank you.
Sadly, I got too tired to push the point of Riddler being a loser.
Yeah.
I say draw both costumes. Awesome in their own way. Yeah, I think a draw is a fair shout.
Let's go with
that. I said you've got to eat a roach for a tenner. I would have eaten a roach for a tenner. I'd do a lot of things for a tenner. On that note, goodbye.
Bye all.